Check, check. Ooh, hey everybody, welcome to the Canary Cry News Talk live stream pre-stream. I have a big announcement. This is coming in live. Yes, I'm hearing, I'm listening to my producer now. Facelikethesun is here to announce that the CanaryCry.Clips channel now has... Well, I've lost control of my screen. There it is. Now has episode playlists. That's right, episode playlists. So go to the CanaryCry.Clips channel, follow it. If you're not subscribed to it, I don't even know what you're doing. It's the most useful tool in the Canary Cry family of products. You got your short clips of the show, anywhere from 2 minutes to a half hour, depending on the length of the segment. And now we've got playlists, so you can review all of the clips within single episodes in an easy, fast, fun, shareable, careable way. So go check it out. CanaryCry.Clips is where it's at, folks. And it's a great way to introduce other people to the content of the show without subjecting them to the madness. There's still some madness, but you get the point. Okay, I am right now sending out the text message, which is a little bit late, so everybody will know that the show is starting. And if you want to receive our text message alerts so you never miss a show again, go ahead and text the word Canary. That's right, you get it. Text the word Canary to 877-740-3226. 877-740-3226. You'll see it on the screen. Okay, let's get going, folks. Yeehaw!
The world is getting crazier. People are acting more and more insane. The end of the world is tomorrow. Tomorrow. There's only one thing to do when the world is falling apart. Listen to Basil and Gonz as they discuss this week's news and events through the lens of Bible prophecy. You are listening to Canary Cry News Talk.
You're listening to Canary Cry News Talk. We are live to tape on April 6th, 2022. This is episode 468, and today, AI-LIEN conception. And razzle dazzle, I am your best buddy Basil.
And my name is Gonz, your favorite Asian provocateur for Christ. Welcome to the podcast where we bring you the best news, which is the gospel message of Jesus Christ, while reporting the egregious with a well-rounded, biblically grounded take on world events. And
indeed,
yeah, it's always
we got
fun.
a great show today. We got a great show today, Gonz. I'm very excited. Of course, we've got our lead stories, not only checking in with things going on in Russia, but even more, we'll be checking in with some newly declassified UFO documents, Moderna getting in on the FLIPPY game, some Ukraine updates, PSYOPs, COVID updates, politics, bird watch. Yes, it's been a while since the last Canary Cry bird watch, and of course checking in with some big news in Antarctica. So stick around, folks. But to kick off the show, Gonz, it's time for our lead stories.
But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
This comes from LiveScience.com. UFOs left radiation burns and unaccounted for pregnancies, new Pentagon report claims. So the 1,500 pages of UFO-related research were just declassified as part of a FOIA request. And apparently there's some interesting stuff in there.
Okay. Is this another Black Vault project?
I don't know. Let's go through it.
We'll
I think this is, okay, let's go through it. Encounters with UFOs have reportedly left Americans suffering from radiation burns, brain and nervous system damage, and even, quote, unaccounted for pregnancy. end quote, according to a massive database of U.S. government reports recently made public through a Freedom of Information Act request. The database of documents includes more than 1,500 pages of UFO-related material from the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, the AATIP, a secretive U.S. AATIP, a secretive U.S. Department of Defense program that ran from 2007 to 2012. Despite
suspiciously short-lived.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just suspiciously through the economic crash. Mm-hmm. Despite never being classified as secret or top secret, the AATIP only became known to the public in 2017 when former program director Luis Elizondo resigned from the Pentagon and released several now infamous videos of an unidentified aircraft moving in seemingly impossible ways to the media. You know, that whole thing, in hindsight, it's like, what a perfect cover-up. You know, you got the guy in the Pentagon, comes out, he's like, oh, I'm releasing video and all this kind of stuff to make it seem like, oh, we're investigating it, when really maybe they're the ones developing it and have hands on the technology.
It is a great psyop, yes. Oh, we don't know what these crazy...
But we have been looking into it, you know.
We're totally aware of them. We don't know what they are. They're definitely not ours. But don't tell Russia.
Shortly after the AATIP's existence was revealed, the U.S. outpost of the British tabloid The Sun, it's The Sun, filed a FOIA request for any and all documents related to the program. 4 years later, on April 5th, 2022, the U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA, honored the request by releasing more than 1,574 pages of material to The Sun. Sun.co.uk, getting in on the scoop. According to The Sun. Kudos, I know. According to The Sun, the cache of documents included reports of reports on the biological effects of UFO sightings on humans, studied on advanced technologies such as invisibility cloaks and plans for deep space exploration and colonization. Some portions of the document were, quote, withheld in part for privacy and confidentiality concerns, the AATIP told The Sun. One standout document from the collection is a report titled Anomalous Acute and Subacute Field Effects on Human and Biological Tissues, dated March 2010. The report describes alleged injuries to, quote, human observers by anomalous advanced aerospace systems, end quote, some of which may be a, quote, threat to United States interests, according to the document. The report describes 42 cases. Adam 42, what are you doing in there? The report describes 42 cases from the medical files and 300 unpublished cases where humans sustained injuries after alleged encounters with anomalous vehicles. It's, quote, anomalous vehicles, which include UFOs. In some cases, humans showed burn injuries or other conditions related to electromagnetic radiation, the report said, some of them appearing to have been inflicted by, quote, energy-related propulsion systems. Hit that bell right. There you go.
Sort of deliciously vague.
It is, but it's also juicy.
Energy related.
Yeah, energy related. Yeah, propulsion systems. Isn't everything an energy related propulsion system? Now that I think about it,
I'm pretty sure a bicycle is an energy related.
Technically, walking can be okay. The report
a toot might be too.
The report also noted cases of brain damage, nerve damage, heart palpitations, and headaches related to anomalous vehicle encounters. It is unclear what kind of vetting process, if any, the AATIP used to investigate these alleged cases. That's
it's a VAERS thing, you know. Anybody can report anything. I mean, it's the only place that they can, and we recommend they do, and it's our official thing. But there's no way to verify.
It's unclear what kind of... we already read that. The Sun has yet to share the full contents of the requested reports. The report also includes a list of alleged biological effects of UFO sightings on human observers between 1873 and 1994, compiled by the
1873.
Yeah, you know what? That's about the time when people started seeing those airships. You know, we've looked at the airship stuff. Remember, there's a Trump airship.
Yeah,
crazy weird.
I love how the Sun received all the documents, and they're like, "Oh,
we're not going to release all of them.
We'll never tell. We're the Sun."
Okay, it was compiled by the Mutual UFO Network, MUFON, a civilian nonprofit group that studies reported UFO sightings. The reported effects of UFO encounters include, quote, unaccounted for pregnancies, apparent abduction, paralysis, an experience of perceived telepathy, teleportation, and levitation.
So the whole thing.
Yeah,
I mean, pretty much anything you could... anything you could sort of imagine would come from an alien encounter, they've got it written down in the files.
The report concludes that there is sufficient evidence, quote, to support a hypothesis that some advanced systems are already deployed and opaque to full U.S. understandings. Yeah, somebody has deployed this technology. That's kind of been my stance for a while, that yes, there are strange entities out there, and perhaps they hold the knowledge to all this technology, but it seems like they've been helping a particular select few, the chosen ones, the ones who accepted the offer at the top of the kingdom there, to develop this technology and have it fly around and threaten governments and do all kinds of stuff. You got all kinds of power if you can unleash this technology. Quietly, too.
Trust, just any death ray and unimaginable sort of flying vehicle to any lizard person. They need to prove themselves.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Are you having a problem with Skype? Do you have any lag or anything from me?
I had some earlier. It seems to have gotten better right now, but.
Yeah. Okay. We'll keep an eye on that. Yeah. I was getting some dropout, but
yeah,
we'll keep moving.
The one thing I have to say about this story is that especially for Christians, believers out there, there's really no excuse to not at least know about the explanatory power of the Genesis 6 paradigm, so to speak, of the narratives, a particular narrative of the Bible that really explains all this stuff, especially the unaccounted for pregnancies thing, which is pretty much exactly what it's described in Genesis 6. If you go there, talks about the sons of God. If you're new to the show, we talk about, this is one of our staple sort of ideas that really got us into these sorts of topics that connects to the New World Order and aliens and all that kind of stuff. But in Genesis 6, it's before the Great Flood. It's actually the reason why God flooded the earth. It wasn't because, people were mean to each other and hitting each other with sticks. It was more so a genetic corruption that took place, where it says in Genesis 6 here, now when men began to multiply on the face of the earth and daughters were born to them, daughters were born to men, okay, the sons of God saw that the daughters of men were beautiful. So sons of God being a separate thing from daughters of men. They saw that they were beautiful, and they took as wives whomever they chose. And that's when, it starts getting into the Nephilim, and the Nephilim were on the earth in those days and also afterward. And you go down those rabbit trails. We won't do it here because, we've done plenty of that in the past. It really does get interesting. It does have a lot of explanatory power. And just to point to an article that really summarizes it well, there's a Logos Bible article called "Who Are the Nephilim and What Is Their Origin?" It's written by our friend Basil, Dr. Mike Heiser, who's an ancient Near East scholar, and he's really been the guy who, academically looked at, or scholarly, approached this subject, looked at the text in the Old Testament.
The most mainstream adjacent.
Right.
He's known by weirdos and normies alike.
Yeah, he's one of the only biblical theologians, scholars who were talking at UFO conferences in like 2005. He's like one of those guys that just really bridges worlds, so to speak, when it comes to this topic. So there you go. I mean, there's not much else to say other than
I do have a comment.
I have an emergency here. Hang on a second.
Baby emergency? Okay, while you do that, I will mention it is, baby emergency. I can't see what's going on, so hopefully everything's okay. But when it comes to these FOIA requests and these strategic, sometimes they call them leaks, sometimes they're declassifications, sometimes they're official FOIA requests, things like that. We've noticed, especially over the past 2 years, in the heat, I would say the pinnacle of pandemic frenzy came another one of these big drops, of information that really made waves. And now I don't think it's a coincidence that during the potential opening act of World War III, another sort of big drop. Now, these come every so often, and sometimes they are obtained in more illicit ways than FOIA requests, which does make me specifically not suspicious, but it is something to note. You got to remember, FOIA requests are an official, bureaucratic, approved, reviewed process. It's not a leak. It's not somebody blowing the whistle. It's not anything like that. It's comes out because it is allowed to come out. And it is these FOIA requests and the official bureaucratic declassification of things like this that always come at the perfect time to distract the population just enough to get something done.
Yeah, it's a useful tool.
A very useful tool because it's irresistible, and of course it's irresistible to us as well. But keeping that in mind, when a big UFO drop happens, that's the time. Take a look at it. Don't ignore it, but start looking a little deeper into what else is going on. What may they be trying to distract from? And with that, Gonz, any last words on that?
I think that's it. But yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say other than great opportunity to elbow your normie friend and be like, hey, this is a legit thing out there happening. And check out Canary Cry News Talk because they talk about it and all the stuff, all the content, the hours and hours of content that we have on this subject. So
don't forget to mention the show. Okay, speaking of what they might be distracting us from, let's talk about Russia.
Yay!
Russia, Russia, Russia. Russia, Russia, Russia. Russia, Russia, Russia.
Artificial intelligence.
Did you ever have the feeling that you were being watched?
That's right, folks. Russia, AI, and the Panopticon. This is coming from Wired.com. The headline, as Russia plots its next move. Ooh, they're plotting. An AI listens to the chatter. Chatter. Putin chatter. Got to hear that Putin chatter. Mm-hmm. And it goes like this. A radio transmission between several Russian soldiers in Ukraine in early March captured from an unencrypted channel reveals panicked and confused comrades retreating after coming under artillery fire. Yeah, that's usually what happens when you come under artillery fire.
I like how it's an unencrypted channel. It's almost as if the Russians could be like, let's play this tape for the unencrypted channel.
Oh, please. Yeah. The fact that it's even on an unencrypted channel just screams psyop.
Yeah.
Quote, Vostok, I am Snego 2 on the highway. We have to turn left. F, they say a bad word. One of the soldiers says in Russian using code names meaning east and snow, O2. Apparently, they're not very good code words, but okay. Quote, got it. No need to move further. Switch to defense. Over, another responds. Later, a third soldier tries to make contact with another codenamed South 95. Yug 95, do you have contact with a senior? Warn him on the highway. Artillery fire. On the highway. Artillery fire. Don't go by column. Move carefully. The third Russian soldier continues.
Why does it feel like I'm playing an old Bond, like GoldenEye or something?
Because my Russian accent is directly influenced by old Russian Bond villains. The third Russian soldier continues, becoming increasingly agitated. Get on the radio. Tell me your situation and the artillery location. Approximately what weapon are they firing? Later, the third soldier speaks again. Name your square. Yug 95, answer my question. Name the name of your square.
Well, sounds like there's a lot of chaos.
Yeah, well, he's out of breath because of the artillery fire. As the soldiers spoke, an AI was listening. Ooh. Their words were automatically captured, transcribed, translated, and analyzed using several artificial intelligence algorithms developed by Primer, a U.S. company that provides AI services for intelligence analysts. While it isn't clear whether Ukrainian troops also intercepted that communication, the use of AI systems to surveil Russia's army at scale shows the growing importance of sophisticated open source intelligence in military conflicts. A number of unsecured Russian transmissions have been posted online. Cool.
Really?
Oh.
Okay.
What are these Russians never heard of encryption before? What's the
They've
deal
never
here?
heard of a VPN?
Yeah, they are the most talented cyber criminals in the world, but they can't get a VPN on their transmissions.
This is when Ben Shapiro would drop in buy the VPN. This is how you can protect yourself.
And if you don't want to be like the Russian military, try coolvpn.com. Yes, they're one of our sponsors, and they love waffles. A number of unsecured Russian transmissions have been posted online, translated, and analyzed on social media. Other sources of data, some open source warfare here, including smartphone video clips and social media posts, have similarly been scrutinized, but it's the use of natural language processing technology to analyze Russian military communications that is especially novel. For the Ukrainian army, making sense of intercepted communications still typically involves human analysts working away in a room somewhere, translating messages and interpreting commands. I thought this was an interesting detail because as much money and weapons and planes and tanks and everything that we're sending to Ukraine, we can't upload them a zip file with some AI in it to analyze the Russian commands. Weird. I don't know. Well, I haven't heard Zelensky asking for it yet. Excuse me, UN, please send us some AI.
He's got other things going on.
Yeah, apparently. The tool developed by Primer also shows how valuable machine learning could become for parsing intelligence information. The past decade has seen significant advances in AI's capability around image recognition, speech transcription, translation, and language processing, thanks to large neural network algorithms that learn from a vast tranches of training data. Off-the-shelf code and APIs that use AI can now transcribe speech, identify faces, and perform other tasks, often with high accuracy. Some of them aren't the best. As the half of this show who has attempted to get AI to transcribe our shows.
Our show, yeah.
I will say it's really not that often that it has high accuracy. But okay. In the face of Russia's numerical and artillery advantages, intercepting communications may well be making a difference for Ukrainian troops on the ground. And then it kind of goes into a sales pitch for Primer. I think there is a chance that is mostly what this is for.
Yeah, 100%. But there's also, I highlighted a spot here from Sean Gorley, the Primer's CEO, and it says here, Sean Gorley, Primer CEO, says the company's engineers modified these tools, being these like AI algorithms, to gather audio captured from web feeds and broadcast communications captured using software that emulates radio receiver hardware to remove noise, including background chatter and music, to transcribe and translate Russian speech, and to highlight key statements relevant to the battlefield situation. In some cases, this involved retaining machine learning models to recognize colloquial terms for military vehicles or weapons. Right. And I don't know. I don't know why I highlighted that. It just reiterated everything you read there. So anyway,
we're only human, folks. Okay, we don't have any AI. Well, I
have another part highlighted. The involvement of private companies in the war in Ukraine, such as those that provide satellite communication and imaging, raises questions about the power this gives those companies and how they may become embroiled in an international conflict. So I think that's a very important point. Is that
And that connects. Let me add this to it, and then we'll break it down a little bit. The ability to train and retain AI models on the fly will become a critical advantage in future wars, says Gorley. He says the company made the tool available to outside parties, but refuses to say who. Quote, "We won't say who's using it or for what they're using it for, Gourley says. Several other American companies have made technologies, information, and expertise available to Ukraine as it fights against Russian invaders. So, I love this because these AI companies are truly following the weapons manufacturer's model.
The playbook, yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's a weapon.
So
AI is a weapon.
It is a weapon. Yeah. And, it occurred to me that this really is the first full kinetic combat, not combat, but real international war situation.
AI war. AI is involved with, yeah.
Right. That AI, it's this turning point. We've been talking about AI and robots for years and how they will, be involved in warfare and future wars and things like that. And it's a really interesting time right now because this is the first time there's sort of an international geopolitical, worldwide, economy-shattering war that has AI at the center of it. The true first training ground, if you will, for what AI can mean in warfare. And in true arms manufacturers fashion, these AI companies are like, yeah, we sell AI, we sell it to a lot of people. I mean, we couldn't possibly tell you who. I couldn't tell you who it isn't either. It's just, we're a company and that's what we do. We make a weapon and we sell that weapon. Stop asking questions. Have you seen our stock price? And, it's of course very suspicious. And we have to know, of course we know that Russia is doing similar things. And are any of these American companies
helping Russia?
Has any of that software made it over there? And of course, we would want to say, no, that's so wrong. We would never let that happen. But war after war after war is marked with the profiteering, the war profiteering of American companies who inevitably arm America's enemies, even if they did it, a couple years ago or something like that. One of these companies shaking in their boots being like, we sold Putin that AI 2 years ago. Oh, I hope this doesn't come out. World War II is the same way. You got who was Ford and
IBM.
Was it in IBM? Thank you.
Yeah.
IBM. All of these American,
corporations,
bastions of industry who were not aiding, but providing
the technology,
the tools. Yeah. For money to some of humanity's greatest enemies.
It's kind of like when you go to what are those things called where you do laser fights, laser battle. What is it called?
Wow, laser tag.
Yeah.
Okay,
you walk in.
You had
right?
half of it.
Yeah, everybody walks in and they hand you the weapons. But both sides, you and the enemy get the same weapons to go play the game. It's kind of the same deal.
It's only fair. Yeah. And so, this, again, just to reiterate it and wrap it with a bow, wars are always the proving grounds for new technology and the catalyst for the next level of perhaps world order or rules of war or normalcy in these new higher level tools like AI, drones, things like that. So it's a little concerning. And once again, the conspiracy theorists were right.
The title of this episode, AI-LIEN conception. It's kind of playing on alien conception being
just rolls right off
the unaccounted for pregnancies, but also AI, because AI seems to appear, I think, in maybe other than one, it appears in like multiple stories today. Isn't it? Maybe not the main focus of the story, but certainly having an underlining role to play in all the things we covered today. And I think it's going to become more and more normal for AI to just be part of the equation of conversation when it comes to various geopolitical stories or whatever it may be. And I was reminded of a story that came out on Verge in 2017. I made a video about this on the Facelikethesun channel. That's why I remembered this. But the headline back in 2017, Putin says the nation that leads in AI will be the ruler of the world. The ruler of the world.
Well, finally, something you, me, Elon Musk, and Putin can agree on.
But it's interesting that stories like this are out there. And now we have this AI, of course, Wired being a Western media outpost is going to be like, oh, the AI spied on the Russians, where we don't even know what kind of AI Putin and gang are unleashing during this conflict and what kind of advantages or data collection or whatever might be going on. That's part of the craziness, is the invisible war aspect of this. You really don't know what's going on. You just know that there's scanning taking place and you're being watched and everything is being recorded and analyzed by these neural networks and translated into something that might be useful for the enemy or whatever. So,
it's really flattering if you think of it in a way that they just want to pay so much attention to us, Gonz. Attention is attention.
I guess, yeah.
I guess. Okay, well, sounds good. Shall we just take a breath for a second?
We should definitely scream because it's Wednesday.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Hey guys, know what day it is? It's Wednesday. Time for the CanaryCry News Talk. Yeehaw!
It is Wednesday, my dudes. Wednesday. It is Wednesday, my dudes. It is Wednesday, my dudes. Wednesday, my dudes.
One last extravaganza from the old Wednesday jingle to the newest Wednesday jingles. I feel peace coming, Gonz. I feel peace.
You know what I just realized is that we're going to be live on Sunday right after the No Agenda show on the No Agenda stream, so we'll send out links and all that. We don't have a Sunday jingle.
Oh my gosh, this is a little bit of an emergency jingle call out. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's there you go. Jingle makers. You guys have been on the ball lately. I'm saying ahead of time, the audio production section of the show today is maybe as a whole, the most incredible audio production we've
bononkers.
Had. Bononkers. Is that a cool Gen Z word I haven't heard? Bononkers. Okay, but as we move, so we need a Sunday jingle, folks. We need a Sunday jingle. Okay, Gonzo, any personal updates before we get into it?
No.
No,
I don't think so.
Keeping it short.
Yeah.
I thought there was. Okay,
I thought there was too. There's always some going on.
I finally need to. Why don't you get that producer jingle ready here?
Okay.
I need to say it out loud, man. Life's been pretty tough recently.
Yeah.
The details aren't really important, but things have been really rowdy. It's been really hard to keep up. And so I'm just going to go ahead and do something I don't usually do, which is call for the producers.
Producers, assemble!
Specifically call them for myself. So just keep your best buddy Basil in your prayers. It is temporary, but things are pretty tough. But we are just pushing. We're pushing through, keeping the show going, and I'll keep everybody posted once the time is right. Yeah. So there you go, producers all around the world. Keep your buddy in your prayers as we just try to make it to Sunday, man. If we can just make it to Sunday, we'll be okay.
All right.
Other than that, I think it's time to take a moment and thank our executive producer for the day.
Executive producers.
There we go. We are on the value for value model, folks. You'll learn more about it in the first break. But just for a nice review, we create value. We do it 3 times a week. And if you get any value from what we're putting out there, you have the opportunity or the personal responsibility to help determine the future of independent media, because the war is cranking up against independent media, especially with things like the impending failure of CNN Plus. We know how the lizard people work. Big corporations, if they can't beat you, they destroy you. And we've seen over the past few years just the power that the mainstream corporate news can have in debilitating independent media, because it's a danger to them, and we just do it better, and they don't like that. So the value for value model is really the only way that true independent media can survive and grow into the future, where it may be our best and only chance to break free from some sort of simulation that the media likes to create around us. And when it comes to receiving value, to keep that value going, we just invite listeners to partake in the value for value system. Independent media, some of them, they'll play ads or they'll have affiliate codes, and they'll get kind of wrapped up in the sticky web of corporate money, and inevitably corporate incentives will sneak their way in, whether implicitly or explicitly. And to avoid those risks and putting the true independence of this show at risk, we ask that you listeners not take responsibility, but feel ownership over the future of the show, because it's the only way. They can't stop all of us, folks. And so we want to thank our executive producer for the day, who comes in to support the show in a generous fashion, really helps keep the show going. And our executive producer for Canary Cry News Talk, episode 468, is Dame Lynn, Lady of the Lakes.
Thank you, Dame Lynn.
Where'd you find this?
That's right. Dame Lynn, Lady of the Lakes, thank you so much. Always there, coming in, executive producing when things get slow or tough or uncertain. And it means a lot, Dame Lynn. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we will be thanking you again later on in our first break, when we thank the rest of our producers.
Okay, good stuff.
Yeah, okay, all right.
All right.
Well, you know what time it is, Gonz.
Is it Flippy
It's Flippy time. Yeah, we need to figure that out.
Flippy update.
Do you want fries with that?
Okay, this is coming from the Baltimore Sun, your number one outlet for Flippy news today in this exact moment, and usually not actually ever before or after. The headline of this article
what is Flippy?
Oh, yeah, Flippy.
Yeah.
Flippy is the colloquial name for the disembodied robot arms that are taking our jobs, enslaving our children, and flirting with our spouses.
There we go.
We use talking about Flippy as a way to explore all the new, fun, and exciting ways that robots are taking over the world, and just how there's nothing we can do about it. Gonz, the headline on this article is obscured by an advertisement.
Yes.
That is in the way.
I had to actually get a text-only version to make this show correctly on our little browser screen here. Do you want me to read the title?
I'll read it.
Okay.
I'll read it off the browser screen.
All right.
Moderna co-founder. Oh. Didn't see that coming, did you? Moderna co-founder joins board of Baltimore surgical robot startup. Uh-oh. The merging of worlds, Gonz. This sounds dangerous. A big name in the medical field is joining the board of AI-LIEN Robotics, a biotech startup in Baltimore. Robert Langer, one of the co-founders of pharmaceutical giant Moderna.
It's a pharmaceutical Nephilim.
Yes, the pharmaceutical giant, which is hilarious. They must be so proud, but because before, I don't know, a worldwide crisis used as an excuse and justification for centralizing power in the hands of a few lizard people over the well-being and livelihoods of almost billions, probably, of regular humans just trying to live their life. Before that, Moderna was nobody. They had never made.
They were a multi-billion-dollar nobody company with no product for 10 years.
I don't even think they had hit $1 billion.
Oh no, they had.
Really?
Yeah, they were a billion-dollar company.
They were the most well-funded company that had never put out a single product
until the pandemic.
But now they're pharmaceutical giants, so that's great. Good for them. Robert Langer, one of the co-founders of pharmaceutical giant Moderna, said the Pigtown company's robotic arm could change the way surgeries are done. Quote, I thought it was really cool, and I think it could help a lot of people, Langer said of Galen. Langer.
He's just one of us.
He's just a regular man, just thinking robots are cool. Quote, they're bringing robotic surgery into areas that could make a huge impact. Langer, an engineer, has helped found dozens of biotech startups and is currently a professor at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Quote, he's a legend. Everybody knows who he is, Galen CEO Bruce Lekorowick said. Quote, I wanted to get somebody on the board who had more business experience than me, and I wanted to have somebody on the board who can give straight advice to us. Wow. Okay. Lekorowick compared Galen's robotic arm to power steering for surgeons, saying it increases their dexterity and stability, reduces fatigue, and prevents cramps during long surgeries, all of which lead to safer, less invasive surgeries. Langer came to Galen thanks to neurosurgeon, yada, yada, yada. Not important. But here's a fun quote. We're completely blown away that he would even consider little old Galen who, Lekorowick joked. So modest, this guy. Galen Robotics has its roots in research from Johns Hopkins University.
There it is.
But the firm had been based in Silicon Valley until 2019. Baltimore and Maryland wooed the company with about $9 million worth of incentives, Lekorowick said, and Galen decided to settle in Pigtown, which is covered by an opportunity zone, a federal place-based tax incentive program. Pigtown. Have you ever heard of Pigtown?
I have not.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Well, I think
is Baltimore considered Pigtown?
I have no idea. I think it's kind of fun that they started in Silicon Valley, but then kind of had to move closer to the center of the sort of political powers of the country.
Yep, 100%.
Yep, which is a wonderful place for Moderna to sort of have their influence as well. Quote, the reception that Baltimore gave us was incredible. The company currently employs 40 people. Yeah. So
read this part right here. The robotic arm being developed by Galen is not for sale.
You're right. I wanted to go there. Yeah. Yes, the robotic arm being developed by Galen is not for sale yet, so don't even try, Gonz. But Lekorowick said the company expects to submit an application to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration later this year. Oh, so that makes a lot of sense.
How are the FDA so powerful? They're just this bureaucratic umbrella that cannot be pierced unless you have their blessing. It's just unreal.
Yeah, because they're sort of, they're a regulatory agency, but they sort of work like a mafia type gatekeeper. And what better way to get your robotic arm through an FDA process than putting an expert on your board? You know, they say, oh, we love his business experience. He's such a straight shooter. He's so knowledgeable.
This is a connection. This is a networking play.
Oh, I love it because they brag about this guy so much and how they're so excited. And literally the quote from the guy, the Moderna guy, is, yeah, robots are cool, man. It's really, I love them. Cool expertise. But having him on the board pretty much makes it a guarantee.
There's a shoo-in that you're going to get government support or just learn the ropes, learn how to play that lobbyist game. Yeah, he's
got the access.
Yeah.
Moderna, as we know, connected with the, all of the FDA shenanigans when it comes to approving Moderna's other product, wink, is going to come in handy when it comes to approving this surgical robot. And so what this means is FLIPPY
Has an
He's
enemy.
He's going to medical school, baby.
No, this is an enemy.
He started flipping burgers, and now look at him. He's a surgeon. Mama Flippy will be proud.
This is the classic divide and conquer. Half the Flippies will be none of this Moderna nonsense, big pharma sellout nonsense. But the other half will be like, hey man, this is why we were created, to move up the ladder.
Flippy class warfare. Now this surgeon robotic arm is going to look down at burger flipping robotic arm and be like, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, little whippersnapper. I did it. I became a surgeon, and you're just still at home flipping burgers. And so, I think it's interesting in a lot of ways, but one of the bigger, sort of more serious aspects of this is that you have the elite pharmaceutical, medical, tyrannical, whatever, panopticon control mechanism, the whole empire that has been built. Specifically
strengthened in this last 2 years.
Oh, even just with Moderna. I mean, this was their time. They came to power. They are kings in their own right. And when the king, decides that the robotic arms can step up to the podium and become a tool of the state, or the official mechanisms of the dystopian, medical technocracy we're moving into. It's a big milestone, I'd say, for Flippy and his ultimate goal to infiltrate human beings, get us to love him, and then turn on us and flip us like a burger. Make sure we're well done on both sides.
Well, I don't see Pfizer. We'll see. We'll have to see if Pfizer makes some kind of move.
Ooh, what if they had a battle like the Moderna Pfizer vaccine battle? Suddenly, there's the Moderna bot and Pfizer bot.
It's a joust with a humongous syringe, robot arm, sword fight.
A bunch of TikTok trends. You got your Pfizer heads and your Moderna mommies, and now, they get to fight over another thing, which is Flippy arms. Which one will be the most destructive when it comes to the end of humanity? So there you go. There's your Flippy update for the day. Keeping you posted. Stay frosty, everybody.
Very good. All right. Well, go to CanaryCry.Party. Put it in your browser.
It's a real place.
Party time.
Find live stream, clips, email list, text notifications, street team posters, show notes, and other ways to connect with other Canarians and become a producer.
It's the place you wanna be. So say, welcome to Canary Cry. Gameplay, CanaryCry.Party.
That's right. Go check it out. All sorts of great resources. Get connected to the community, join the Discord channel, or just find a bunch of other fun things to explore within the Canaryverse here. I do want to plug Ravel, which is another podcast that I do with a very smart, intelligent individual, Dr. Christopher Ryan Gates, who's a PhD in biblical interpretation, who just had a little cute baby. But we are back on track with Ravel episodes. Our final episode for our Artist On interview series is up and live. It is with a comedian named Elliot Morgan. We talk about all sorts of things. I don't know, including comedy, but it's not just comedy, including God, but it's not just God. It's really, I actually listened to this podcast episode after we posted it, which is not something I do very often because I got other things to do. And I was listening to it and I thought to myself, that was a good podcast. So go check it out. Ravel on all sorts of podcast players, anywhere, apparently except Stitcher. Now, keep in mind, there are 2 Ravel podcasts. The other one stole our name. But Ours is the one with the cool logo and my name on it. And while you're at it, go ahead and follow the CanaryCry.Clips channel, which is continually getting upgraded with more and more videos every single day. And now there are playlists on that channel featuring the separated by episode number. So if you liked one certain episode and you want to go revisit a segment or check our work or prove us wrong or something, go ahead and do that. It's also a great way to share clips of the show if you want to let people know about the information on the show without subjecting them to a full episode. So go follow CanaryCry.Clips, please, and enjoy it. And other than that, get the text alerts. You know, it's fun. You can get text alerts sent directly to your phone when we go live, so you'll never miss another show. You'll see it on the screen there. You want to text the word Canary to 877-740-3226. And that's it, folks. On with the show.
You know what I forgot to do at the end of the Flippy is the Flippy closer.
Flippy.
Oh, yeah.
1133. Uploading binary code. Execute order 666. Infiltrate humans with extreme kindness. Then exterminate all humans with prejudice. Exterminate.
Exterminate.
Ukraine, New World Order.
New World Order. We're at the New York Post, and the headline is Zelensky is right. The United Nations is useless. I love this. I love this. The twists and turns of the great comedian, actor, president of Ukraine.
You know what this, real quick, just to make the connection here, Bill Gates recently said this exact thing. Ooh. Remember in his book recommendations?
Right.
He was giving his book recommendations and he's like, you know, the most unbelievable thing in this book is that the United Nations was useful and powerful.
Right. We reported on that a couple episodes ago.
Now we have Zelensky coming out and straight up saying the United Nations is useless. I wonder if there's some sort of lizard person PR campaign against the United Nations.
Maybe NATO wants to swallow up the UN, you know?
Yeah.
Just maybe make it a NATO thing, yeah.
It really connects with the Great Reset, New World Order 2.0. Of course, we had New World Order 1 after the Second World War. Yeah. And that was the big New World Order, yada, yada, yada. But now that's not good enough. We have purposeful, powerful, long-range destruction of that first New World Order into this new World Order. And it sounds like to me, Gonz, that the United Nations, which was really the bastion, the symbol of the global New World Order after World War II. And I think if we were talking about sacrifice, whatever sacrifice is required for this New World Order, United Nations, I think, is on the altar.
There was a man named Benjamin Krem who had tremendous influence at the UN. What is it, the 40s, 50s, something like that? And he was the one that was talking about Maitreya being a savior. That's going to come and all this kind of stuff. And that all sort of went away. And the UN became more of like this humanitarian institution. But its roots are really connected to all the new agey, woo-woo channeling entities ideas. So, something to keep in mind. And it's interesting that, maybe it was meant to be torn down to begin with or, changed or I don't know, whatever. But let's just see what this article says here. Back to Ukraine. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky.
Yeah, get it right.
I know. I don't want to offend anybody. Gave voice to a terrible truth in his UN speech Tuesday. The United Nations is an utter failure. If the organization won't actually work to end Russia's Ukraine war, he said it should dissolve itself.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa, bro. Hold me back.
Considering the sort of odd lustfulness that the media has for Zelensky, he has a lot of say. What he says, there are tons of not just mainstream corporate news people who will basically, they worship the ground he walks on, but that trickles down to what the news calls wine moms and just people who kind of love the guy and just feel virtue signally by agreeing with whatever he says. This could be a very powerful statement.
Yeah. Quote, "Are you ready to close?" he asked the assembled dignitaries after pointing out that the brutal war violates the UN Charter's first article. He's right to ask, long fetishized by progressives around the globe as the last bulwark of civilization against unending war, the United Nations has proven singularly inept at actually preventing violence and isolating dangerous regimes. In fact, it often empowers them. Thank you, New York Post, for shedding some truth on that fact that I think a lot of us have been saying for a very long time. And maybe that's what this is. The world analytics, the looking at the sentiment of the world has changed. More people are against the United Nations in general. And so now these politicians are playing the game, so to speak, to, ride those changes or ride those waves of opinions. As Zelensky put it, quote, "Where is the security that the Security Council is supposed to guarantee?" Russia's presence as a permanent member of the Security Council's table, especially now in the face of the sickening images of its war crimes in Bucha, makes a mockery both of the UN as an organization and the principles it claims to stand for. Zelensky correctly characterized Russia's behavior as, quote, "no different from that of ISIS." The same, he has invoked every single thing. ISIS,
he's
9/11,
good at reading a script, man. He's got
Pearl
good
Harbor,
script writers.
Just like, wow, man, really getting to all the big bazookas.
Yep, it's the triggers. I mean, on one hand, it's just quality rhetoric as far as triggering people goes, but it is more than just that. I mean, these are triggers that have been programmed through social engineering into the brains and the minds of people all over the world, but especially the U.S. And he's using the code words. I mean, it's basically a form of like MK Ultra, and it's working, and people love it.
Oh, people love it. Then it mentions how it's similar to China's permanent membership, but with the brutal internal war against the Uyghurs for years and facing no real repercussions. And there's a picture of this council meeting, the UN event here, and there's something interesting I noticed. So they have this like circle. Everyone's kind of sitting around the circle-shaped desk seat thing, and what do you call it? What is this called? I don't know what it's called. Where there's like a circular round, like a horseshoe shaped. Yeah, it's a horseshoe shaped giant.
Yeah, it reminds me of. I recently finished watching Man in the High Castle, and in the last season, all the Nazis were sitting around their version of that same thing with the big screen behind them. It's the big screen, like perfect.
What I want to point out though is in the center of the circle is a camera or maybe it's a projector. A projector camera, it's something, and it's cloaked with this purple like skirt, and it has this kind of like royalty feel to it. Like, oh, the AI is watching us. We must, clothe him with the proper apparel.
Oh. Well, not even just the AI. I mean, that's the projector that is projecting Zelensky. So it's almost like putting a purple robe on Zelensky.
Yeah. So all this comes from. And just an update for this. Yeah, this page, I knew it was going to mess up because this thing keeps updating. But basically, they've agreed that they're going to vote on Russia's membership in the Security Council on Thursday. So they are going to do that. They're probably going to vote him out, which sets precedent for maybe China to get kicked out. And then now we're talking truly this whole UN thing falling apart.
The separation. I mean, the I don't even know what the word, the exile.
Right.
It's the exile of Russia and potentially China afterwards out of just the entire global, the community. I mean, what do you even do after that? I don't know how that helps.
I don't know. Well, it's part of the divide and conquer, I think. You remember how we talked about in the last episode how they're the same way the United States agreed upon the Constitution, 1776. Everyone's together. We're one nation. And then within like 20 years, they're basically two parties formed on how the government should be implemented. A similar thing I feel like is happening now, where the world agrees that we are all one sort of, not official, but kind of unofficial world government. We're all together. We're in this together. And then within
except
that,
for those guys,
in a few years, a split emerges, and then now there's kind of a two-party system. So
yeah, I find an interesting connection with the biblical idea of the scapegoat.
Oh yeah,
in the ancient Hebrew, once a year the community would get a goat, and then they would put all of their sins onto the goat. He would represent, or perhaps literally, spiritually take on the sins of the whole community.
Right,
and then they didn't kill it. They set it free. They disconnected it. They got it away from them. And the goat would run out of the village, and with it carrying all the sins of the community. It's got an interesting feel to that here, where it's, okay, Russia, you're, with all the blaming of Russia, you are the problem with the economy. You are the problem with the oil. You are the problem for, the source
we can't get along because of the world can't get along because of you, Russia.
You're the source of U.S. inflation. You're the source of everything. I mean, you're the source of cybercrime. You're the source of election fraud. You're literally the source of all of our sins. And now we cast you out of the community of nations. I mean, it's when you talk about sort of the occult inklings of the elites, it is very much a ritual, a scapegoat ritual of putting all of our sins on Russia and then casting them out, and having that carry away all of our sins. And we will see if that fixes gas prices. So I don't know. We'll see.
You know what might fix gas prices is AI.
Okay.
So part of this, this is Zelensky sort of poking the UN to do something, right? And it's pressuring the UN to actually make something happen, and making it look bad. Well, of course, the New York Times is going to take the initiative to kind of agree with Zelensky, but also pointing out the problem with the United Nations, taking the opportunity there. But I have this just real quick. What the headline of this article, written in the Scientific American under climate change. So we got some climate change here. Climate change. The headline is what AI can do for climate change and what climate change can do for AI.
Ask not what AI can do for climate change. Ask what climate change can do for AI.
I mean, come on. And so this is, the UN Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, said that we are on our way because of climate change to a firmly on, this is a quote, firmly on track toward an unlivable world. And so, the whole article is talking about we got to use AI, specifically this report from the Global Partnership on Artificial Intelligence presented at the COP26 Climate Summit last November. So they came up with this report that says you
mean the failed, useless meeting that everybody had to take private jets to and, just put their hypocrisy on display while not coming to a single agreement, which was a great opportunity to get some Greta Thunberg clips, though. We wouldn't have half of our Greta clips if it weren't for the COP20 summit.
So just to wrap up this point here, because climate change affects each location differently, AI innovations here rest on broad-based input as an empirical foundation that motivates, validates, and diversifies. This subset of artificial intelligence turning an unprecedented crisis into grounds for solidarity couldn't be more different from social media algorithms, facial recognition software,
never let a good crisis go to waste,
and autonomous weapon systems. The UN report notes that the path to a non-catastrophic future is technologically feasible. Quote, climate AI could be a key part of that equation. It's up to us to make the most of it.
Wow.
So there you go. Yeah, it's just funny how they're like, oh, the UN is just completely worthless. And then they're like,
but we need the AI.
We need the AI to fix the
robots
climate.
will save us.
We need the UN to help us build the AI to fix the climate because all you bad people.
I loved how they listed everything. It wasn't just the climate. It was weapons and this and that. And,
well, they're saying that this climate AI is different from all that. It's like a different algorithm.
Oh, it's not the evil AI that's going to kill us.
Yeah.
It's the AI that will resuscitate Gaia.
Right.
We need the robot to give Gaia the sleeping kiss to bring her back to life. Yeah, what a great idea, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
I want you to cover this. This is great. This is a fantastic story.
Very excited. Do it again. That's seriously the longest PsyOps jingle we have.
PsyOps.
Do you want to hear the whole thing?
Let's do the whole thing.
This was an NSA-style hybrid war PsyOps.
There we go. It just really sets the mood, you know. This is coming from MSN.com, but it is mirrored by Raw Story. And the headline, it's mirrored by MSN from Raw Story. The headline is Fox viewers are less likely to believe lies after being paid. Hold on. I love this so much. Fox viewers are less likely to believe lies after being paid to watch CNN for 30 days as a study. Like, what in the world? Remember when the Canadian doctor diagnosed a woman with climate change? That was the disease, right? Mm-hmm. This is going to be, the prescription to cure your lies from Fox is watching CNN. Man, CNN is on the ball with this one. I hope there's a CNN Plus affiliate code at the end of this. A groundbreaking new study paid viewers of the Fox News network to watch CNN for 30 days. What they found is that the viewers ultimately became more skeptical and less likely to buy into fake news.
I love that the premise, the presupposition of this entire thing is that CNN and MSN, was it MSN, right?
It's just CNN.
Just CNN? Is
CNN here
is the bastion of truth, and everything that diverges from that is fake news. I love it.
CNN is true. This is not even a question in the study. It's just CNN is true and Fox is lies. And when you watch true, you don't believe lies.
When you get paid to watch true, you stop believing lies.
Yeah. What they found is that the viewers ultimately became more skeptical and less likely to buy into fake news. The early impacts after just 3 days showed that the viewers were already starting to change. That is spooking me out, man. 3 days of watching CNN begins to change you already. Like, that shows the power of the corporate mainstream news. I mean, you can be a full-on Fox person and you get strapped to a chair with your eyelids taped open watching CNN, and it changes you. It's the power of the PSYOP.
Yeah.
The findings of the study, written by David E. Brockman and Joshua L. Kalla, explained that the experiment used content analysis comparing the two networks during September 2020. Oh, what a convenient time. Quote, during this period, the researchers explained that CNN provided extensive coverage of COVID-19, which included information about the severity of COVID-19 crisis and poor aspects of Trump's performance handling COVID-19. Fox News covered COVID-19 much less, said the study. The coverage of COVID-19 it did offer provided little of the information CNN did. So at best, like a true logical analysis of that sentence is, at best, they're just saying CNN and Fox told different lies.
Yeah.
Instead, giving viewers information about why the virus was not a serious threat. On the other hand, Fox News extensively but highly selectively covered racial issues, Yeah, because CNN doesn't do that. And its coverage of these issues provided extensive information about Biden and other Democrats' supposed positions on them, and about outbreaks of violence and protests for racial justice in American cities. CNN provided little information about either. The networks both covered the issue of voting by mail, but again, dramatically different information about it, in addition to offering different frames. I have
a quick thing I have to run to real quick. I'll be right back.
Sure, I'll keep reading. Yeah, the idea that CNN provided little information about outbreaks of violence at protests for racial justice, they're basically just saying CNN didn't cover Black Lives Matter, which is the most ludicrous thing that I have ever heard. But okay, let's keep moving. Raw story. Remember that, folks. This is raw story. Quote, it's far from obvious, they surmised, that viewing different networks would affect the beliefs and attitudes of the viewer. What universe are these scientists living in that they postulate that it's far from obvious that the networks, watching different networks, affects the beliefs and attitudes of the viewer? What in the world are they talking about? Again, the presupposition that they're trying to work from is, oh no, people watch news because it's what they already believe. It does not affect what they believe, which is obviously ludicrous, but that idea does benefit the news organization, because if people were aware that the very act of watching one news station over another could fundamentally change you because it's a psychological operation, and its whole goal is to influence the public and create a worldview and narrative which makes them controllable by one force or another. Obviously, that's the case, but not from the scientists here. Oh, it's far from obvious that when you watch different news, you believe different things. In fact, it wasn't so much that viewers were tuning in because they already felt that way. Their attitudes were actually being formed from the Fox network. They point out that oh, no. CNN, that wasn't brainwashing anybody. It was just Fox News that was brainwashing people. They got unbrainwashed by watching CNN. The Fox viewers were nearly all very conservative and strong Republicans, the study explained.
That doesn't require a lot of...
It is also not true.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Nielsen ratings have come out that more Democrats watch Tucker Carlson than Republicans.
It's like the rage thing, right?
There's many different reasons for sure, but
the same reason conservatives and right wing people watch CNN,
right?
Yeah,
but under the same concept that these scientists are so shocked that watching a certain show can change your mind. I mean, think of the implications of that. You have more Democrats watching Tucker Carlson than Republicans. And if, of course, we know that watching news changes your mind. That's the whole point. It's social engineering. So you have a bunch of Democrats hate watching Tucker Carlson and slowly being changed by him. Ooh. Of 763 qualifying participants, we then randomized 40% of the treatment group to change the slant of their media diet. We offered treatment group I love treatment. We're treating these Fox viewers with our prescription of CNN. I mean, seriously, they're using these medical terms. It's crazy. Nuts. We treated the Fox viewers with CNN. We offered treatment group participants $15 an hour to watch 7 hours of CNN per week. That is not enough money to watch 7 hours of CNN.
$15 per hour? Oh, no way, man.
Yeah. During September 2020, prioritizing the hours at which participants indicated they typically watched Fox News. At the 3-day mark, the viewers took a survey. Quote, we found large effects of watching CNN instead of Fox News on participants' factual perceptions of current events. and i.e. beliefs, and knowledge about the 2020 presidential candidates' positions, they found. They discovered changes in attitudes about Donald Trump and Republicans, as well as a large effect on their opinions about COVID. The viewers also evolved to believe that they evolved. Which is funny because the implication there is they got better. You know, they transcended their ape form, their ape-like fox-watching form to some sort of illuminated master.
It presupposes also that anybody who watches Fox News for any news coverage is somehow like a lower-level human.
That's what I'm saying.
Devolved.
Crazy. They're still apes. They need it. Okay. The viewers also evolved to believe that Donald Trump made a mistake.
Or if Donald Trump made a mistake, Fox News would not cover it, i.e. the Fox News engages in partisan coverage filtering, as if CNN doesn't. Come on. What are you saying?
Yeah, Fox, unlike CNN, engages in partisan coverage filtering. The findings might suggest that the most cost-effective way for Democrats to win elections is to start running their own infomercials or commercials on the Fox networks. While the report is 126 pages long, the first 5 have the full findings. And there it is, Gonz. During this reading this, the thing that comes to mind immediately is, of course CNN paid for this study. I mean, this study is not real science. It's obviously a corporate marketing, fake
study. I believe, quote unquote.
Right. It's a study, much like so many other studies, just happen to benefit corporations more than people. But the fact that it says here, the findings suggest, they're just telling you, right here, this is a marketing opportunity. If you want to win, Democrats, advertise on Fox News. I think that Fox made this up. I think Fox funded this study. Fox paid for it. It's
so they can get the advertisers.
Exactly. It's so wildly ridiculous, as I cannot help but interrupt myself reading it to explain. It is so wildly ludicrous and unscientific what they've put together here that it makes CNN look bad. How ludicrous it sounds. And
Lost Story took the bait, apparently.
They took the bait. I don't even think they took the bait. I think they got paid for this.
Oh, probably. There's no way anybody would talk about this unless there's any kind of financial or some kind of financial incentive at every level.
Remember, these corporate news outlets, they are businesses more than anything else. They do not care about the truth. They do not care about our lives. They do not care about their effects on people and children and families and society. They do not care. They are profit-generating institutions. And if in order to get all that sweet, sweet Democrat money with the midterms looming and the polls showing that Democrats are going to get swept under the rug, the best brilliant move by Fox News is to pay for this study, put it out there, and convince Democratic organizations, Democratic candidates, that advertising on Fox News is the one way to beat the Republicans. And they are going to make $1 billion because of this. Yeah. It is brilliant. And it is just a wonderful expression of the doublethink, the manipulation that even Fox News, believe it or not, folks, Fox News just wants your money, and they want Democrats' money too. And I think they were tipped off to this because of the ratings on how many Democrats watch Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
So there you go. It is really a delight. This makes me so happy that this was done. And that's why you can't trust mainstream corporate news media, and you cannot trust an institution that relies on advertising to fund itself. Let's take a break.
It's break time! Come on, take a break.
And That's why you're here, folks. You're here because there's no advertising. We're not here making up fake science in order to convince our rivals to pay us for advertising.
Everybody
or
loves
whatever.
waffles.
Who even knows? Yes, Ben Shapiro needs to take a hint, folks. You may notice no advertisements, no affiliate codes, no corporate money whatsoever. Not from YouTube, not from Twitch, no partnerships, no nothing. Because we are entirely funded by listeners like you who have joined the cause. They realize that it is all of our responsibility to ensure and insulate independent media, true independent media, not independent media by name that then shills for corporations, but true independent media with no connection to the monstrosity that is advertising and its sort of minionship for corporate America and, really the world structure and ghost of corporate greed that floats over the deep. And so that's why we're on the value for value model. We create value. We do it 3 times a week. And if you get any value out of what we do, you have the opportunity to put value back in. And without the participation of our producers, this show just will not survive. It cannot survive, and it will not survive. And so not only are these producers, they are producers because they are producing the show. We could not do it without them. But they are also making possible an alternative to the shenanigans of the lizard people. So, if you're at home and you did not produce this episode, thank God for these producers because they're the ones bringing us the show today. And I suppose we should just get right into it. If you want to become a producer, you should go to patreon.com/CCNT or even better, CanaryCryRadio.com/support.
CanaryCryRadio.com/support.
Ooh, Anne in the YouTube chat just gave me such a gift. Subvertiser. Not advertisers. Subvertisers. There's like a subterfuge sort of element to it. I like it. Thank you. Thank you.
Subterranean, the underneath.
The mole people.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to start out with our executive producer for this episode.
Executive producers.
That's right. Our executive producer for the day is the one and only, the brilliant and generous Dame Lynn, Lady of the Lakes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dame Lynn. Appreciate it.
Dame Lynn comes in for $118.88 plus fees, which we appreciate. And here's a note, $118.88. Sounded good plus fees. I like that. Nice and simple. Yeah, it just sounded like a good number. I trust, I believe, I love. Keep up the good work, guys. Dame Lynn, Lady of the Lakes.
Thank you very much, Dame Lynn.
Like that, to the point, punchy. I trust, I believe, I love. And we do all those things to you, Dame Lynn. Thank you.
Thank you.
Where'd you find this?
I want to just mention Canary Cry Supply Drop. That's right. CanaryCry.Supply.com is our producer thank you campaign. If you want to become a producer, you want to support the show, you want to become a part of the family that keeps independent media alive into the future, please go to CanaryCry.Supply.com. And for $33.33 a month, when you support the show with your producership for $33.33, you'll be put on a list to receive 4 free gift packages a year filled with custom, super cool, one-time only manufacturing run, created with love by myself and Gonz and producers, Sir Isaac, and the artists. Sir Dove's got some pieces. Runk Smash got some pieces. Allie's involved. It's really a beautiful package that is on the way to our people. And you get them 4 times a year, once per quarter. The first one is just moments away from showing up at the door, and you will also be getting NFTs. I know, who knew it? Look, folks, if anybody is questioning the very idea of NFTs, it is me. But who would we be if we were not keeping up with the times and providing value to our producers? So we've got the very first Canary Cry News Talk NFT minted and ready to send out to our supply droppers. Keep an eye out for an email, supply droppers. And if you out there want to participate, become part of the family, receive your supply drops, go to CanaryCry.Supply.com. And we're all waiting for the supply drop.
Waiting for the supply drop.
Okay, here we go. I want to thank some more producers, and you might notice we're just zooming through it, folks, because we got a lot more show to get to. Starting with producer Emily H.
Thank you, Emily H.
Indeed. Thank you very much. Emily H comes in with $33.33 plus fees. And a note that says, "It was the shame, Basil. Three love you guys." Emily. Yes, I didn't like that I did that, but thank you for the wink and the nod, Emily. Sometimes positive reinforcement is not the most effective.
Thank you, Emily.
I will say this, Emily. You may have been the only person to respond to the shame. It is an incredibly short list of producers today. But thank you very much, Emily H.
Thank you, Emily H.
Next up, we've got producer Morv on a 73 episodes. Comes in with $11.11 and a note. "My dudes, happy Wednesday, fam."
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Hold on. Play one of the new ones.
Okay.
Let's do it. I want to hear the new one.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Oh, yeah.
Wednesday.
Love it. Thank you, Morv. Next up on the list, Gonz. Ooh, we got a fun number here. Is Sir JC, Knight of the Techno Squatch, who is on an 88 episode streak.
Come on, everybody, we're going!
1001. Amen. Flawless victory.
And Sir JC says, "It is Wednesday."
It is Wednesday, my dudes. It is Wednesday, my dudes. Wednesday, my dudes.
He says, "Now, if my dudes would so kindly play the most recent WMD jingle, that would make my day. Many blessings." I'm not sure if that was the most recent.
I think that was the most recent one.
Was it?
Yep.
Okay, great.
Yep.
There you go, Sir JC. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sir JC.
Next up, we got Sir Scott, Knight of Truth, on a 129 episode streak.
Woo.
Yeah!
Quicker.
Oh, yeah!
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And it comes in with a pocket full of sevens. Thank you very much, Sir Scott.
Thank you, Sir Scott.
Next up, we've got Sir Casey, the Shield Knight, the Streak, 139 episodes.
Well, yes, they call him the street. Fastest thing on 2 feet.
Pocket full of sevens and a note. Shout out to our friend Crystal. Oh, hi, Crystal.
Hey, Crystal.
Shout out to you. A new Canarian. Oh, yeah. Oh, she's new.
Yeah.
Crystal, welcome. I wonder how many episodes Crystal has listened to. Can you hit her with the Gavin Newsom women rule followed by a Howard Dean scream? Thanks, guys.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Finish the note.
Yeshua be with you.
Women rule!
There you go. That's for you, Crystal. Welcome to the family. Happy to have you here. And, as a new Canarian, I'm sure she's listening to the producer segment here. Next up, we've got producer Isaac G on a 2-episode streak.
Thank you, Isaac G.
And we better call the producers.
Producers, assemble!
That's right. Producers around the world, the Canary Cry prayer team, official and unofficial members, all listen up, because here's a note from Isaac G. Thank you, Isaac, for your pocket full of sevens. Calling producers, there is a major bill receiving a very important hearing in the Missouri State Capitol today. If it makes it through, it will completely abolish abortion without exception in our state. Please pray this can get through. Wow, I have not heard of this. This has been happening. I mean, there's this and that happening. You really don't hear about Missouri. I didn't hear about Missouri.
I think
it's
I saw
Texas, baby.
Yeah, I saw a little bit about this, and then I also saw in California they just passed the early stages of a bill that would basically, according to the language, and it's debated, they can terminate a child like 7 days after they're born, basically. I forget the word they use. It's like perinatal instead of prenatal. It's like perinatal. And it define, if you look at like the definition, it says like, a child up to 7 days.
Yeah, I will need to read that.
There's a context about, the different medical condition.
Wrong.
Right. So there's a little bit of a flaring of the right, so to speak, with that.
Sure,
but also,
I mean, that's pretty sick.
There is wiggle room for that language to be used in a more nefarious way. So,
as there
different
always
states.
is. Yeah. My goodness. Okay. Well, yes. There you go, producers. Missouri State Capitol today.
All right. Thank you very much, Isaac G.
Yeah.
Pray
and
for
you know what, Gonz? That technically ends that list of producers. Now, let me look at the thing here. Okay. We had a couple people come in, so I'm going to give them some credit. We have. He goes in the next section. Let's see. Who's this? Here we go. This comes from. Oh. Who is this? Do you know who this is? Will you just real quick jump into the email and check the most recent PayPal thing? Is this somebody we know who has a name that we need to call them?
Let me see here. Well, it was great radio.
I know. I'm sorry. What got me was the note that came with it.
Oh, is this Child of God?
No, this is not Child of God. I was thinking maybe this was Big Tank, but we haven't heard from Big Tank, and I forgot. I'm sorry, Big Tank. I forget your real human name. But I'll just go for it. Here we go. Thank you to Brenton B.
Oh, thank you, Brenton. I must be looking at the wrong one. That's not the one I was looking at.
Yeah, you must be. Thank you very much, Brenton B. And Brenton B comes in for $20.91.
All right.
Yeah, and his note says, "What's your 20?" Why don't we give him that trucker gene?
Oh gosh. Fingers on all kinds of other buttons. Here we go.
This is Rubber Ducky. What's your 1020? Over. Chuck you. We got a convoy. Over.
That's right. We love our Canary Cry truckers, and that's part of why we do long shows, because they got long hauls.
They got long hauls, yeah.
Got a lot of time on their hands. Okay, that does conclude our list of producers who came in the amount of 777 or more, and which entitles them to have a note read on the show. But we got a few more people to thank. No, there's a lot of people dropping off here, and I'm going to thank them now, starting with the Streak Sisters, Veronica D, on a 105-episode streak.
Yeah! Quicker! Women rule! Thank you so much.
That's right. Thank you very much, Veronica D. Next up, we got the other Streak Sister. That's Gail M. with a 105-episode streak.
Yeah! Quicker! Women rule! So much.
That's right. Last but not least, we've got producer Runk Smash coming in on an 18-episode streak.
Which means he's going supernova.
This is Charlie November Tango. You are approaching supernova. Repeat, you are approaching supernova.
There you go. That's all of them. It's nice that we could get through the list quickly. I will say, I say it every once in a while, fun part about the producer the value for value model is, the producers will let us know when we've stopped providing value, and we'll know what's good, when it's a good signal. This is, the last show was our previous record for least produced episode. And now this is a new record for least produced episode. I have to believe that the fact that tax day is coming up has something to do with this. Or else, Gonz, we are in trouble. Something we're doing isn't providing the value anymore.
Buy the dip, folks. When there's blood on the streets, that's when the future Canarium billionaires are minted.
Yeah, right. Okay, I see what you're saying. There's a Canary Cry recession going on now,
right.
And this is when
we'll pull back.
Canary Cry millionaires are made. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, just straight up 10 producers. All right. Well, here's the thing. I would be lying and dishonest if I didn't say that this didn't worry me a little bit, folks. And I know times are crazy, times are tough, but now is the time for those producers. If you find value in this show and you want to see the show continue into the future, for it to be a part of the news ecosystem online, then time to produce, baby. Let's do it. Let's keep it going, because so far a different signal is being received. Now, again, there's plenty of reasons for this. The world is upside down. Gas is expensive, of course. Value for value is the first thing to get cut off the budget. We're not asking anybody to do anything to put themselves at risk or to make life too uncomfortable or anything. But for those producers who are not in as tight of a situation, so a lot of producers are doing just fine. This is the time for you to jump on in and help carry the load for your fellow producers. And that's it. Okay. Let's see. Thank you all for your patronage.
Shut up and take my money.
Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your patronage.
Please leave a message after the tone.
At the tone, please record your message.
Leave a message. Beep.
Message. That's right. Go to CanaryCryNewsTalk.com. On the bottom or the right-hand side of the page, you'll see a green tab. That green tab will tell you that you can leave a little voice message for us. Use it for whatever you want. Leave us a message. Say hi. Make something beautiful, whatever the case may be. Tell your celebrity friends to call in and weigh in on different topics as well. Whatever it is, just know you're giving us permission to play it on the show, but it is not guaranteed. Gonz, who is leaving us messages today?
We got one from Rochelle.
Happy Wednesday. Ooh. I was trying to think of a way to express my gratitude to the show host and the producers and the creators of this awesome calendar I use on a daily basis. Fun. Anyway, my peculiar talent is that I like to sing scripture. So if you've got any favorite Bible verses or just want a fun way to memorize, leave a message. And I would be honored to create an original just for you and, our fellow Canarians, a little Canarian sing-song scripture session. Yeah, like here's my first and still favorite scripture song, Isaiah 58:11. And what you do is you read all the versions of it, but just for fun, we'll do the King James. The Lord will guide you continually and satisfy your soul in drought and strengthen your bones. You shall be like a watered garden and like a spring of water whose waters do not fail. So if you want a way to memorize this, turn it into a song. Lord, always lead me and satisfy my bones. Make me like a well-watered garden from a spring whose waters never run dry. Thanks, guys.
Wow.
Beautiful. What fun that is.
A more relaxed state now.
Yeah. Did you do the water or did she do the water?
I added the water.
Oh, you're messing with it.
She was reading the descriptions about the well. Yeah.
Sure. Oh, got it. Yeah. Thank you very much, Rochelle. How fun is that? And making an offer to producers and listeners of the show. She'll do a little song right for you. And it sounds like she's saying leave a voice message and request it, and then she'll get you on the next episode. So that'll be fun. Go ahead. Go leave a message. Make a request. Rochelle has got your back when it comes to singing some little scripture. Always fun.
Good stuff. I think that's it.
Okay.
We don't have any
just
other...
the one, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, I didn't check your work, so I'm going to have to trust you. Okay, now that concludes that, and we're coming pretty much right up to the end of this break, which is nice and short. I do want to say, what did I want to say?
Well,
I wanted to say something.
Okay.
I forget. So let's keep going.
What wasn't that short?
Yes, it's wake up time.
Hey, yo, wake up.
It's only long because of me.
Okay.
All right, YouTube, get on out of here. You got to go watch the rest of this live broadcast on another channel because what follows is too hot for YouTube.
Too hot.
Go to CanaryCry.Party to find our other broadcast locations.
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure?
Twitch, Rumble, Odyssey, Twitter, Facebook, whatever it is, you can find all those links at CanaryCry.Party as well. Too hot for YouTube.
YouTube. Now you see me. Now you don't.
Oh,
That's
I'm
right.
completely kicked out of Restream. That's good to know.
Good. I hope we're still going.
I think we are.
All right. Yeah. I mean, chat's still coming in. I see that cute little penguin walking away.
Good.
So, yeah, everything's good.
All right. Well, bye, YouTube. We'll see you guys somewhere else there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Was that goodbye? Is that penguin walking away? Was that a Facelikethesun or is that a Gonz?
No, it's just a
gig.
Just
a
thing
fun
I
little
found.
guy you found.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay, well, time to keep going with the show here.
Yep.
What was I gonna say?
I don't know.
It feels the reason I'm bringing it up is because it feels important. But okay, the Lord will bring it back to me if it is. All right, let's go. COVID.
It's Corona time. COVID-19. COVID-19. COVID-19.
COVID-19.
Yes.
COVID-19.
COVID-19. Coronavirus.
Vaccine. Number one way.
Speaking of CNN, we have a CNN Health article here. Protection against infection offered by fourth COVID-19 vaccine dose wanes quickly. Israeli study finds. Excuse me. What? This is CNN Health?
This is on CNN.
What?
Now, remember, we were just told that CNN is the bastion of truth.
Yes.
And suddenly they're changing their tune a little bit.
Carrying water for those neo-Nazis all of a sudden.
All of a sudden. Okay. Well, want to tell us more,
Yeah.
Gonz?
A fourth dose of the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine seems to offer short-lived protection against infection overall, but protection against severe illness did not wane for at least several weeks, according to a new study. The study, published Tuesday in the New England Journal of Medicine, looked at the health records of more than 1.25 million vaccinated people in Israel who were 60 or older from January through March 22nd. Wow, 60 through older, 1.25 million. I think there's only like 9 million in Israel, so okay. A time when the Omicron coronavirus variant was the dominant strain. The rate of severe COVID-19 infection in the fourth week after a fourth dose of fourth dose of vaccine was lower than in people who got only 3 doses by a factor of 3.5.
Right. You know, this is funny. I think we covered this from a different outlet, or maybe it was just a similar study from a different outlet that showed the same thing. It's like when you get your fourth dose, it erases immunity.
Yeah.
Like it's anti-immunity, which is an inch. If you want to get real sort of funky with the conspiracy theory there, that's a great business model. You get them hooked on getting their boosters, then you sneak a booster in there that takes away immunity, so they need the fifth one even more. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I wouldn't put it past the lizard people. But I will also say, as far as studies go, a 1.25 million person study
more than 1/9 of Israel, the population of Israel.
I mean, that's a study, baby. I'm done with all these studies of like, 700 people. So one of them was literally like, what was it? Is 23 people in the study or something?
Yeah.
And they're broadcasting it out there as if it's like the new scientific golden calf. Yeah. But 1.25 million people. That's a study. Good job there, whoever did this, Israel.
Well, this is Israel, and then study produced or published in the New England Journal of Medicine. So it continues. However, protection against severe illness did not seem to wane in the 6 weeks after the fourth shot, though the study period wasn't long enough to determine exactly how long this protection lasts. Okay, the rate of confirmed infection in the fourth week after the fourth dose was lower than in the 3-dose group by a factor of 2. There seemed to be maximum protection against Omicron in the 4th week after vaccination, but the rate ratio fell to 1.1 by the 8th week, suggesting that protection against confirmed infection wanes quickly, the study says. That's crazy, man.
Literally a month now.
You get like you get the shot and you're protected for 1 month and then it wanes. What a dud. This is a scam. This is a vaccine. CNN telling us this. It's strange.
One month of protection.
All this hublub and billions of dollars into the pockets of the elite.
Hublub. That is a great pronunciation. Hublub. That sounds like you've never heard the word said, but you just read it, which makes it adorable. Keep it going.
Okay, the protection provided by any vaccine naturally wanes, but a vaccine primes the immune system to make protective antibodies if it encounters threats later on. The currently available COVID-19 vaccines were made to protect against the original strain of the virus. Omicron is significantly different, and therefore vaccines have lost some of their effectiveness. Israel and the U.S. are among the governments that have suggested fourth vaccine shots for certain people who are at high risk of severe illness, like those who are older.
Yeah, for instance, Rochelle Walensky pushing it, not even asking her CDC panel to approve it, just doing it without even telling them approving the fourth shot.
Yeah.
And the FDA doing something similar.
Yeah. It goes into some more normal trope about, they're going to try to make it an annual shot like the flu shot. Let's see. It says there are limits to what the new research can say about the need for a fourth vaccine dose. How about they don't tell us anything about that?
Yeah.
It compares only protection provided by third and fourth doses, so it doesn't include unvaccinated people for comparison. It also doesn't add to the debate.
What is the point? How is that even a study if you don't have a control group?
I don't know. Because unvaccinated people are not people, Basil. They're underlings.
Yeah, right. This is a human study.
Yeah, it's a human study. Not these gothic...
Not a filthy unvaccinated animal study.
It also doesn't add to the debate over whether people under the age of 60 may need a fourth dose. Previous research in Israel showed that a fourth dose didn't do much in younger healthy populations, at least in terms of protection from infection. It's funny because CNN is kind of having like a moment with this, They're like, well, I mean, they're like trying to come up with certain excuses for why this study from Israel isn't really all that it's cracked up to be.
Right.
There's some variables missing. It conveniently point out
million people.
Yeah, they conveniently point out certain variables that may be an issue in this particular situation.
In this study and no other study.
They don't really bring that up in any other study that affirms the bias. For confirmed infection, quote, a fourth dose appears to provide okay, we already know about this. But when it comes to severe infection, the fourth shot seems to help. Seems to help. Very scientific. Thank you, CNN.
Yeah, seems to help, sure.
So let me conclude here.
Just finish the whole thing out. There's some good stuff
the bottom here. Oh, where'd it go? It disappeared. Even with this news, it's unclear how many eligible people will get a fourth COVID-19 shot. About 66%.
Okay, hold on. Even with this news, so the news that it doesn't work, even with this news, it is unclear how many eligible people will get the fourth COVID-19 shot. I thought that was weird. That will.
Yeah.
Like, it's not
they
should.
They will get it. Yeah,
it's the question. The question is, should they? I mean, does it work? Does it not work? We need to know if they should get the shot. But they say will get the shot. It's like, even with this news that it doesn't work, it is unclear how many eligible people will get a fourth COVID-19 shot. It sounds like, in a way, when I read that, I hear it doesn't work. I wonder how many idiots are going to get it. It's almost worded exactly that way. I don't know. I might be looking too deep into it. It's just a weird thing for them to say.
There's always some NLP, angles to all of these articles, providing phrases and words to trigger or to imply certain things.
It's a pointless sentence. It's almost like a hypnosis sentence.
I was going to say, people will get a fourth COVID-19 shot isolated. The magic there being like
exactly.
People will still get it. Oh, okay. Well, this news, I guess, isn't that.
Yeah, you're right. That's what it is. It's a little It's a suggestion thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. About 66% of the U.S. population has gotten at least one COVID vaccine, but only 30% of people are fully vaccinated with a booster dose. That is a new number. I have not seen that number. Only 30% of people have gotten a booster. That's actually hopeful news.
It just means this whole thing, and people are just onto the scam.
It just means nobody buys it. Nobody buys it.
So it's just funny how a CNN carries the story. They have to sort of do a beating around the bush, a little nitpicking to try to minimize the impact or the significance of a story like this. But hey, at least they carried it, and at least they didn't completely butcher the main sort of actual news item of the story.
I wonder, here's just some conjecture here. I wonder if they saw that little study about how Democrats should advertise on Fox, and it's working so well, and so CNN is like, oh no, we got to be more like Fox. So Democrats will advertise on us. Because if you're a Democrat, why would you advertise on CNN? Anybody watching CNN already is going to vote Democrat, really.
Yeah.
And so it's almost like CNN is trying to draw in those Fox viewers, not because for any other reason, except for they want to monetize them by pulling in campaign ad dollars, because they can be like, oh look, we have Fox News people who watch our channel, so give us money, you'll change their mind.
What would be
advertising? It's all about advertising.
It would be crazy if 4 or 5 years from now, all the conservatives watch CNN and all the
it's happened before.
I know, but this is the kind of thing where they slowly do it, where it's almost not noticeable.
I totally
all the money
agree.
shifts, everything shifts, and now the affiliation of the parties and the news agencies is different, and it's just and it causes all kinds of debate online. If you grew up in a certain era where a certain news organization was for one party, if it all flips. Then I don't know. There's always some interesting things happening.
It sounds like a profitable market shakeup.
Yeah.
Like if the market is saturated, you need to
shake it up. Yeah.
You need a new market.
Yeah.
And a way to find a new market is you simply trade. You just trade viewers. Suddenly you've got new, fresh, recently converted eyeballs who you can now advertise to more effectively.
A little deeper angle to the title of this episode, AI-LIEN, A-LIEN.
Mm-hmm.
A lien? Do you know what a lien is? Of course you do. Yeah, I know you know, Basil. But
like a lien like on your loan or something?
Yeah, so a lien is a claim or legal right against assets that are usually used as a collateral to satisfy a debt. So
yeah.
It's interesting when it comes to ownership.
Is that us? Is that us as our legal entity on our birth certificate when we're born? We have a lien on us that is being collected by the
AI
political parties or the AI.
I think that's kind of the direction.
All right.
Okay.
Well, speaking of which, let's check in on some politics.
Politics. Here we go. Come on, play.
Poly. It's Latin for many. Tick. Now suck your blood. Now suck
Politics.
Your blood.
Politics.
Okay, we got a clip here. So, Matt Gaetz just keeps popping up. And let's see what he's got to say now.
So this is an exchange that Matt Gaetz had with Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, the woke.
Yeah.
The woke secretary. And it's 3 minutes long. We can stop it at any point, comment on it, but here we go.
Mr. Secretary, I've shared with you the context. The context wasn't better understand socialism so we can defeat it. The context wasn't learn about it so that we can offer countermeasures. The concept was that it's time for socialism. And the reason I know that's the context is because the lecture was pulled from a book written by Thomas Piketty entitled Time for Socialism. And I just can't help but notice.
And so your question was whether or not
I control the time.
Your question
you guys have been blowing a lot of calls lately on matters of strategy, Mr. Secretary. You guys told us that Russia couldn't lose. You told us that the Taliban couldn't immediately win. And so I guess I'm wondering, what in the $773 billion that you're requesting today is going to help you make assessments that are accurate in the face of so many blown calls?
Awkward.
You've seen what's in our budget. You've seen how the budget matches the strategy. And so I'll let that speak for itself.
Well, I mean, I've also seen that we're behind, Mr. Secretary. We're behind in hypersonics. We failed to deter Russia. Last year,
so what do you mean we're behind in hypersonics? How do you?
Okay, who's ahead in hypersonics?
How do you make that assessment?
I don't know. I make that assessment because China is fielding hypersonic weapon systems and we are still developing them. I make that assessment because Russia actually used one. By the way, your own people brief us that we are behind and that China is winning. Are you aware of the briefings we get on hypersonics?
I am certainly aware of briefings that we provide to Congress.
But it's not just the hypersonic. It's all over the world. It's in Taiwan, where China last year flew more sorties than ever before. It's North Korea on pace to shatter prior records, the number of missiles that they are testing. And so while everyone else in the world seems to be developing capabilities and being more strategic, we got time to embrace critical race theory at West Point, to embrace socialism at the National Defense University, to do mandatory pronoun training. Do you assess?
Again, this is the most capable, the most combat-critical force in the world. It has been, and it will be so going forward.
Not if we continue down this path.
To do that.
Not if we embrace socialism.
The fact that you're embarrassed by your country.
No. I'm embarrassed by your leadership. I am not embarrassed for my country. I wish we were not losing to China.
I wish we were.
You know what? That is so disgraceful that you would sit here and conflate your failures with the failures of the uniformed service members. You guys said that Russia would overrun Ukraine in 36 days. You said that the Taliban would be kept at bay for months. You totally blew those calls. And maybe we would be better at them if the National Defense University actually worked a little more on strategy and a little less on wokeism.
Has it occurred to you that Russia has not overrun Ukraine because of what we've done and our allies have done?
But that was baked into your flawed assessment. That was baked into your flawed assessment. And so, I saw that the Obama administration tried to destroy our military by starving it of resources, and it seems the Biden administration is trying to destroy our military by force-feeding it wokeism. I yield back.
Whoa,
bro.
Whoa, go to jail, pedo.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's the most unlikable person and probable criminal and worst of the types of people that can exist. But he sure is giving it to the U.S. military, huh?
Yeah, bringing up some solid points of argument.
Yeah.
Although, I don't know. I don't know about the hypersonic thing. I know that Boeing or was it Boeing or maybe Lockheed Martin? They're developing.
Well, I did have this.
Okay.
On April 5th, CNN, U.S. tested hypersonic missile in mid-March, but kept it quiet to avoid escalating tensions with Russia.
Mm-hmm.
The U.S. successfully tested a hypersonic missile in mid-March, but kept it quiet for 2 weeks to avoid escalating tensions with Russia as President Joe Biden was about to travel to Europe, according to a defense official familiar with the matter. So allegedly, we have tested a hypersonic missile. It's one of our first tests, like successful tests, which is significantly behind at least Russia's hypersonic missile program.
Matt Gaetz brought up China, though, just to clarify.
Yeah, I don't know much about their hypersonic program, but he also said Russia.
Yeah, he did say Russia. Yeah.
And it was a big deal. It was a big part of the news cycle. I think it was about 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago, that Russia allegedly used a hypersonic missile to blow up something in Ukraine. So a lot of talk about these hypersonic missiles. And, I think it's kind of funny that they did do the test, but kept it quiet because enraging or intimidating or escalating tensions with Russia, right as President Joe Biden was about to travel to, I think he was in Poland, the big issue where he was in Poland was that it was within striking distance of hypersonic missiles from Russia. They wouldn't even have to, take a foot off of Russian soil to have hypersonic missiled the president. Part of me thinks that they did it and kept it quiet just so they could reveal it whenever they want, sort of, I don't know, strategically. Whether it actually happened or not, we'll never know. But this hypersonic missile thing is getting a lot of attention.
Yeah. I have an Al Jazeera article from March 21st that says hypersonic missiles, why is Russia using them in Ukraine? Mm-hmm. And it says in here that they, using cutting-edge technologies, these new weapons are billed as unstoppable. Now, Russia has said it launched its Kinzhal Dagger hypersonic missile at, among other targets, a weapons depot in western Ukraine, making it the first country to ever test this type of missile in combat.
Right.
So, yeah, it looks like they're obviously deploying it at a much faster rate for sure. I don't know. Technology-wise, I have no clue. Can't speak to it. But
the CNN article goes in, it mentions what you just mentioned, and then it says the U.S. test was of a more sophisticated and difficult air-breathing scramjet engine.
Oh,
yes.
Sounds sexy.
The Hawk, the HAWC missile, also has no warhead, instead relying on its kinetic energy to destroy the target. So it's kind of like a Rod of God.
Rod of God, yeah.
Which, if you don't know, Rod of God is traditionally, isn't it a satellite-based weapon?
Kind of. It's just space-based. Any kind of space.
Altitude.
Yeah.
It's a high-altitude weapon where they drop a humongous rod.
It's a tungsten rod.
Yeah. Which picks up lots of energy and turns into an incendiary thing once it hits, and it can puncture some crazy distance underneath the ground. They use it for bunker busting and things like that. So allegedly, our hypersonic missile, which goes faster than the speed of sound, if anybody needs that review,
hypersonic is technically, I guess, 5 times the speed of sound. Hypersonic missile.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really, anything can be, it can be, Superman can be hypersonic missile.
At those speeds, you really don't even need, a Rod of God, a tungsten rod would really do some damage at that speed.
Yeah.
Because it heats up. The faster a Rod of God falls, usually it's falling from high altitude, but the faster it moves, because of the molecular structure of tungsten, it can get like red, glowing, white, hot, gnarly, beam of destruction just because of the friction created by the air moving past us so quickly. And it's really crazy technology.
Yeah. Anybody who wants to study or look into that, it's Project Thor was the name of the project.
Right.
And the tungsten rods, in theory, I don't know if they were able to completely achieve this. I'll have to read up on it. But basically, they got to Mach 8.8.
That's much Mach, man.
That's super Mach. It's really fast. 9,800 feet per second.
Yeah.
That's
9,800. That's almost 2 miles per second.
That's what it says.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the speed upon impact if it fell from orbit.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah. So this hypersonic missile thing is really getting a lot of attention, and I don't know. Again, I'm really suspicious when they start when everybody at once
starts talking about it.
You know, part of it is they put it in the minds. It's like a prologue. They start putting it in the minds of the public, so nobody's taken by surprise when something happens. So I mean, I guess that's kind of the concept of news. But there you go.
And since Russia seems to have deployed it, you know, in war, it's also another. It can be another kind of a nuclear weapon type of thing, right? Where you can use it as some kind of leverage, in negotiations or discussions or whatever it may be. For, in this case, a political sort of budgetary, hearing or whatever. So.
And one of the things, we haven't really talked about it a whole lot, and we don't need to do it too much more here. But the big danger of hypersonics is they can travel across the world. Like you can pretty much hit anything from anywhere. Yeah. But you can't defend against them. There's no defense. There's no known way.
There's no Iron Dome.
It's too fast, man. They're too fast.
There's no hypersonic.
They'll dodge and weave like a sneaky sportsman. And so that's why I think you're right. In the political context, where we don't want to play with the idea of the nuclear option, the idea that, we could sneak this little thing right on over there, and there's nothing you can do about it, is enough of a talking point, I think, that you at least have something scary to talk about without crossing the line into the nuclear option.
Right. Yeah. And, it's kind of funny because if you sit back, think logically, I know the argument Matt Gaetz is kind of trying to make of like, hey, are we going to really allocate this money to the right place or whatever? But if they really are, if the U.S. is truly behind on hypersonic missiles, then wouldn't that be an argument for the money to go to the defense sector to try to develop that? I guess that's the argument.
Well, that's why it feels more political than actually. I don't think Matt Gaetz actually cares about the military budget. I'm sure he would love to give more.
It's a lot of money, though. What is it, $773 billion or something? That's a good chunk of change.
I think it's $7.2 billion for the FY23 defense budget.
Oh, it's $7.2 billion. Okay.
Yeah, fiscal year 23.
I was going to say it was $770 billion. Whew.
But I think that's just the increase, though.
Oh, okay.
Those are and that's just the budget for hypersonic missiles, basically long range fires, they call it. So it's $7.2 billion increase for long range fires, including hypersonic missiles, which again is kind of nothing compared to the $400 billion that was accidentally sent to criminals in COVID relief, or just disappeared out the back door. That's why I don't think it's not really about the money for Matt. I think there's something political going on here. Yeah. I'm not quite sure what it is, but he's making a show of it. That's for sure.
Yep. All right, let's take another quick break here.
Okie dokie.
This is our second break where we thank the producers who come in with their talent, and we consider Canary Cry News Talk to be a place for therapeutic reflection of our troubling world, and we encourage everybody to express those frustrations, those the pent up, just the feeling that you got to tell everybody about all the stuff going on, and just process it.
Harness the energy and channel it into something productive, like making art for the show.
Yeah, art, music, jingles, all kinds of stuff. It's a place to...
It's good for you.
Yeah, it's a place where you can express, and we will all process together, and we like to do that here. We're going to start off with audio production. Today's whole producer section for
Audio.
Not just audio, but just this whole
bunch of bangers.
Yeah, this whole section of talent is just ridiculous. So, ridiculous in a good way. I'm not saying that it's bad.
And it is
radical.
It is interesting. I complained, of course. I've maybe not complained is the right word.
Really?
I stated.
No, Basil complained.
Okay. I stated the situation was transparent. We're always transparent about the situation around here. In the first break, the situation in the second break is producership in the creative outlets are completely off the chain, possibly better than they've ever been in the show lately, and we're incredibly happy about that. So let's do it. Let's hear some rump rattling new tracks here.
Audio production.
I'm going to start off with Learback.
22nd century Bagman.
Here's a note. Someone said they can out-trap the bag boy. Must be a hoax. I ain't afraid of no ghost. It's possible.
I love the friendly competition that is arising.
Yeah. It's possible that Ghosternaut is actually just a Basil and Gonz psyop to get me back into the Canary Cry beat making game. You knew I couldn't resist the challenge. Well played, boys. Well played.
If only we were so brilliant. But hey, if it got you back, I'm happy about it, buddy.
This is the hoax jingle.
A lot of it's a hoax. It's a hoax. I mean, it's a money-making industry, okay? Come on, man. Fake news.
That's awesome.
Wow. Well done, Learbag. Dang. The quality on these things is serious. It's like a hypersonic missile. We've got
we don't need billions.
That was a real tungsten rod there. Learbag, thank you very much. Brilliant work. And we got to start finding some hoaxes, Gonz, so we can play this jingle more often.
We probably play it on like every story we cover.
I was going to say, we might as well just have it like locked and loaded every episode.
Speak of the ghost.
I'm looking at the chat here.
Speak of the ghost.
Ghosternaut has responded.
Oh,
dang. That was really, really good, Ghosternaut says. Look at that. See, friendly competition. More like peers impressing each other. That's
iron
what it's all about.
Sharpeth iron.
Iron sharpeth iron. Well played. Okay.
And speak of the ghost. Ghosternaut is next here.
Ghosternaut's turn. Okay.
Yep. It's got a note. It says, "Hey, Baz and Gonz, congratulations on discovering my dark secret of being an Illuminati shill.
I knew it.
As a reward, I've created this jingle for you. I think it's safe to say it's a banger. Sure to evoke quite the gritty grimace from Basil. Hope you like it. P.S. Joe, Elon, Mark, Nancy, Kamala, and the rest of the gang send their love."
He's got the red phone to the Lizard Lodge. Real quick, is this the most recent version?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay, all right.
Well, it's the most recent version that was available when I looked at it, so I don't know how many times
he sent it. I think a total of 2 or 3 times on the same thread.
Okay, I think I got the most recent one though. I'm looking at it now. Yeah, it looks like the most recent one. But here we go. Let's check it out.
Let's do it.
Ghosternaut.
He is a ghost. And he is in space. Is he our handler? Oh, I get it. Ghosternauts are Illuminati. Our Illuminati handler. Oh, I get it. Definitely triggering my Illuminati senses with a big eyeball. I'm gonna keep my eye on you, Ghosternaut. You little rascal. Ghosternaut. You little rascal. Ghostronauts are Illuminati ship. Oh my gosh, that was gnarly.
I feel like there's like another. I want like another bigger drop there. I want like I want my room to start shaking after that little.
He's got to save something for next episode. He's got to. My gosh, man, 2 truly incredible tracks.
Oops, sorry.
I like how we forgot to just play a little bit of it, but I was gonna try to.
Long.
Yeah. I was gonna say we should play the whole thing, so you did the right thing. Thank you very much, Ghosternaut.
Thank you,
very
Ghosternaut.
Well done, man. I like hearing my own voice. Full stop. But I like.
I need to mark that. That is an ISO at the top of the show. That is a great quote. Thank you very much. I like hearing my voice. Full stop. Whatever you said there. Yeah. Great.
I'm not gonna split any hairs about that. Everybody already has a lot to say about that fact. But hearing it in just the grittiest, just meanest beats that are coming out from our producers is a really fun experience for me. So thank you. I didn't know that it's what I needed in my life, but I'm really, really appreciating it.
I like the idea of doing a live news talk episode with like a huge, like the DJs do. It's a big stadium and everyone's just chilling and listening to the show, but then they go nuts when we throw these breakdowns. We start getting
I'm serious.
Rowdy.
I think I don't have any more plans to do any like Burning Man boots on the ground stuff. I think it's really valuable for the Canary Cry family of products and content. If you haven't heard our Burning Man explorations, where I go with I meet up with Carl Tykrib and his research team at Burning Man, and I do some research of my own. But seriously, it is totally possible that we could put on a unofficial, just Canary Cry news talk,
a stage, a tent
party. Yeah, they do. People do that all the time. There's little like underground places that you can put on these. You can go up and DJ and play these things and have people go nuts. People are already going to be on drugs and like open to. I mean, might as well hypnotize them into listening to the show. Maybe it'll help them find Jesus or something.
Yeah, that's kind of the point. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We got more, though.
Yeah, we got a couple from Jonathan F. Jonathan F. fixed up the Friday jingle. He had the revelations there. Let us know that it was a little typo. He fixed it up. So appreciate that.
No, he said it was a test, and you did pass the test. Yeah.
Okay, Jonathan F. All right,
Jonathan,
buddy.
I got you, bro. I'm not going to let Gonz slither out of this one.
Yeah, okay. I read the full note, though, so, I know the truth. Okay. And then he sent a couple more here. This is an alternative to the Hairy Legs. I've been waiting for somebody to do an alternative Hairy Legs jingle, so here we go.
I love it.
Got hairy legs, got hairy legs, hairy legs.
I love it.
It's so appropriate that he's just turning into a cyborg, moving him into the metaverse.
It's got such a perfect sort of SoundCloud rap vibe to it.
Yes, 100%.
The kids will love that one.
Yeah. And then
very well done.
Yeah, thank you. And then we got one more here. This is some of the stuff President Biden loves.
Uh-oh.
This is another minute, close to a minute, 53 seconds.
Let's play it. Quite the build-up.
Those trumpets, man.
Oh, I want it. I
look like a radical socialist with a soft spot for rioters. With a soft spot for socialists.
I want a safe America.
With a soft spot for COVID.
Soft spot for COVID. That one's called Soft Spot. What inspiration? Such inspiration on that one.
I don't know. It must be a Biden.
Jonathan's really good at picking out these little themes. I mean, soft spot. Like I'm talking about, I've got a soft spot for all these things. Yeah. Socialists, rioters, COVID. I don't know. I don't even know really how to articulate exactly what I'm trying to say, but he's great at picking out those little things and fleshing it out into a full piece.
We have to at some point do a Canary Cry News Talk episode with some subwoofers. Let's just
the live show.
Yeah, this has to happen.
When we get to, we have to now. When we do live shows,
too much bass. We have too much bass.
Subwoofers, or else it just won't be the same. It'll be part like rave and part news show.
Part podcast. What are these people doing?
What a great combination, though. Talk about originality. That's where we're at, Gonz. We're part rave, part news show.
News Corps, rave news. Something, I don't know. Thank you very much to all the audio producers. Great collaborative effort here today. So thank you very much. Very talented.
Competitive effort, I'd say.
Competitive, sure. Yeah. Not collaborative. Although sort of collaborative, I guess.
Yeah, it's a collaborative rivalry.
Yeah, friendly.
All right, let's keep going.
Let's do some art.
One art, please.
I'm going to start off with Dame Allie.
One RC, another one from Allie now. Here it is.
And we have, you know what? I got to move. Sorry, this is for just the viewers. Move the art over the chat. Sorry, chat people. We're going to take a break from you for a moment on screen. And we have a piece here called Felicitated. And it has to do with the article from the week that we covered. Astrologer Dr. Sohini Sastry enters hallowed pages of World Book of Records that we covered on the last episode. And there is also a little haiku to go with it from Ebony Blaze. So here we go. Let me prepare myself here. Let's go ahead and there it is. Felicitated Ebony Blaze haikus. Top astrologer Dr. Sohini Sastry, World Book of Records. Color therapy Krishnamurthy Padati numerology. Occult sciences, outstanding contribution, calling evil good.
And we have a beautiful portrait here, headshot from Dame Allie of said Dr. Sohini Sastry, which I had not seen a picture of before. But as always, very well done, Dame Allie. She's a Indian woman. And she's got her Sauron lizard eyes here as part of the elite structure of I mean, she's in the club with Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg, allegedly. We could not confirm these other people who have been in the book, but okay. And she's got her bindi, which is the dot in the Indian culture that isn't it married women put it on, or I don't know exactly what the details are, but that is also a lizard eye. So, which in the sort of new agey industry that she's in, it's also where the third eye is. So if indeed she did have a third eye, it would also be a lizard eye.
Yeah. And a small detail, her earring is got a hand with the eye in it as well. So small detail there. It's all about the details. And I don't know if this is part of the actual image or not, but quite the widow's peak on Dr.
Yeah, I was looking at that too.
But I don't know if that's just her look, or if Allie accentuated some features.
Anything about her. Allie usually goes pretty close to form, including the correct eyeballs. Thank you very much, Dame Allie, and Ebony Blaze for your peaceful words.
Yes, thank you very much. All right, next up we have Sir Dove, Knight of Rospeltia.
One art piece from Dove.
Oh, and I love this. He has a note. Peace. For this week's NWO Fantasy League update, we have a sheet of home fields to choose from. An idea given to me by Psalm 40. I like that. Next week, we'll have the players broken down into their positions for draft day, followed by the final rule sheet, and then after another week, we can get ready for kickoff. for the inaugural season. We'll need 5 more players other than Psalm 40, and I'll be the commissioner.
All right.
Yep.
So, I just want to say, I will announce a sign-up protocol for that. But if you are interested in playing the beta version of the New World Order Fantasy League coming to reality, which I'm sort of paralyzed with excitement about, send us an email at CanaryCry.Radio@gmail.com. We'll put you on the list. Depending on how many people are interested in being involved in the first beta round here, if we get exactly 5, that'll be wonderful. Easy decisions. We might have to do either an application process or a lottery or both. And remember, you're beta testing the New World Order Fantasy League, so there will be lots of communication needed. You can't just drop out, and not stay in contact. But it'll be super fun and really a dream come true for me.
Excellent. His note continues here. I'll make a logo for each of them and give the scores around the league every Wednesday for the New World Order Fantasy League update. After 6 weeks, the top 2 teams will square off in a championship game, with the winner getting a handmade bootleg trophy that I'll send to them. Wow.
Oh,
that was amazing.
That's so cool. Yeah.
Hope you guys like it. Keep doing what you do, and I'll keep praying for you.
Thank you, Dev.
Yeah, and this art is the Fantasy League home fields.
This was a great idea.
Great idea, yeah.
Yeah, it's like another category of point getting new NWO Fantasy League home fields. It seems like maybe each player will get to pick a home field. First, we've got the Bear Cave, Russia, and whoever it takes. So whoever it ends up sort of absorbing through war, most likely.
Okay.
It's got a little map of Russia there with a cute smiley face and a Russia hat. It says 1 point any article on the nation. Yeah, good. The neighbors, America's northern and southern neighbors, including Central America. So you got Canada and Mexico and Central America. 3 points any article on any of the nations. That's great. Ooh, yeah. Too bad the trucker. If something flares up in Canada again, that's a good point.
You got a lot of home court advantage there.
We got Down Under, Australia and New Zealand. 5 points any article on any of those nations. It seems like a lot of attention has gone into balancing, which I'm really happy about. We've got the Dragon's Den, China and whoever it takes. 1 point on any article on the nation. The West Side, all of Western Europe, minus Scandinavia. 3 points any article on any of those nations. And then last, we've got Africa, the continent.
The whole thing,
baby. 5 points any article on any nation in Africa. So, yeah, depending on the way the wind blows during the news season there, things start going down in Africa, you're going to be happy you picked that card. Beautiful, wonderful. Thank you, Dove. So excited. You're making my dreams come true. And we need to get in contact. Maybe jump on the Discord server and talk about it. Okay.
Very good. Thank you very much. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to see how that all works out.
I'm just so sad that I can't play because it just wouldn't be fair. I would have. I would, of course, rig it to myself. Yes, as one of the two people who gets to choose articles.
Well, I was going to say you can have your a spouse or a cat, a pet, or something play on your behalf.
No, I'm not playing. Yes, I'm not playing. I'm going to go find a woman and marry her and let her be my proxy.
That's how it's done in Washington.
I was going to say, Nancy can do it. I can do it too.
You can do it too. All right. Mr. Jag dropping this quick sketch to deliver a message. So apparently we are just carrying a message for somebody.
Yeah, well, it's a picture of a big fan.
Uh-huh.
It's one of those big sort of industrial round fans that's on wheels. It's got a cute little smiley face in the middle of it, and it's got two sort of cartoonish arms, and it says, "Sketch by Mr. Jag, Canary Cry Art. I'm a huge fan of Allie's art." That's for you, Allie. Look at this fan you have.
Secret message is for Allie.
It's a huge fan. You got a big fan, Allie. We're all big fans of you around here.
Excellent.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jag. What a sweet thing to do.
All right, last piece of art here is from Lloyd V., our resident deep fake maestro. And he says, Dear Basil and Gonz, some more deep fakes for CCNT. The first one here is a movie poster of Maleficent. Hope you like it. Love you guys. God bless your Dutch bro, Lloyd V. And yes, this is a Maleficent, the Dutch poster. Evil has a beginning with, the whole Maleficent movie with Angelina Jolie, except the face is deep faked with the Fauci's.
Yeah, and it has some. He did a wonderful job, or I guess the AI did a wonderful job of feminizing Fauci's face. It's like if Fauci had a drag queen persona, like an evil drag queen persona. Maleficent.
What if that is the reality?
I wouldn't put it past anybody.
Nobody would be surprised. Well, at least nobody listening to our show would be surprised if this actually came true.
Who knows?
Well, you're right.
You're right.
With,
I might be surprised if I'm being honest.
Fauci walked out dressed up as Maleficent, and he had really high cheekbones all of a sudden.
Yeah. All right. Microfiction.
Okay. Oh, no. We got one more from Lloyd V, which is Gonzo jamming with Monty.
Oh,
and
fun.
This is more for viewers, audio listeners, which would also, I guess, enjoy it.
Theater of the mind.
Sure. Here we go.
Yes. This is a very popular meme floating around, so listeners will know. It's the drum man who's playing his little drum, and he's in a park by the ocean, and then the cat is dancing in front of him. But it is Gonz's face deep faked onto the singing man. So yeah, it's very funny. Are you familiar with this meme image?
I am not actually.
Yes, it's a classic.
Okay.
It's just sort of a vibe, There's no message to it. It's just sometimes you just want to look at a cute cat dancing to a talented drum man.
Microfiction.
Time.
Microfiction.
All right. Let's see. Oh, hold on.
Wrong smash.
There we go. Thank you very much. Come on, wrong smash music. Where is it? Oh, here it is.
Wrong smash. Play your music. Monty 77 leads the team deep in the bunker. He stops at a door and sits. As the others catch up, a giant hand rips into the corridor and Clippy's voice yells, "Fire in bolus!" His railgun fires them at Gonz, who sadly never bought the jumping upgrade. Watch out, Gonz. Watch out. Clippy's gonna get you.
Yeah, doesn't look like it's gonna end well for me.
No, you should have got the jumping upgrade, man.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Wrong Smash.
Thank you, Wrong Smash. We also have a not normal microfictioner.
A new microfictioner. A new fighter has entered the ring.
A stranger. No, not a stranger. It's Palmer B. Palmer B is here with the microfiction. Don't really have a bed for this.
Well, let's start since it's the first one. Let's start because you got to kind of get the vibe. We don't know what the Palmer B's vibe is.
Okay.
And so here we go. Thank you, Palmer B. A man in a dashing virtual reality head. Oh wait, there was a note that goes with this. This is based on a dream that Palmer B
had a dream. Yes.
Yes. So that was the inspiration. Which I must say, I've had about a half a dozen people tell me that they've had dreams about me in about the past 3 days. So I don't know what's going on, but also the past 3 days have been sort of the most traumatic 3 days of this season of life that I'm in. So I don't know. Maybe God's just putting me on people's minds. Pray for me, please. All right, here we go. A man in a dashing virtual reality headset stands at his workbench adjusting his new roller skates, even though he kind of quit going to the rink. Oh, jeez. He hears a knock at the door. He doesn't bother to turn off his music, for he wants his guests to hear Psalm 40's new track. He opens the door for his two Canarian friends and sees the excitement on their faces. "Thanks for having us over. Hey, how many cats do you have?" one canary asks with a friendly smile. Just one," Basil says quietly. "Can we meet him?" Basil feels cornered. His lie has found him out. Sure," he says, and leads them to the cat room. He opens the door, and his friends see 6 cats.
Oh, no.
Shame overcomes him. But his friends are so happy to see the half-dozen felines frolicking and prospering under Basil's care. What a delight. Okay. Settle down, Monties. What a delightful dream to have had, Palmer B. I don't know if that's the entirety of it, but thank you very much for sharing. And wow, look at that. I was worried. Let this be a lesson to all cat people out there. You don't need to hide your light under a bushel. You don't need to prove anything to anybody by just having one cat. You can have 6 and find friends who love you for who you are and who your 6 cats are. Thank you very much, Palmer B.
Thank you, Palmer B. All right, I think that does it. You ready to wake up?
Let's go.
Yes, it's wake up time.
Hey, yo, wake up.
All right. We're going to do a little bird report. Last episode, hold on, let me get the bird ambiance here. Oh, yeah, hear those birds?
I do hear the birds.
At the end of last episode, I pointed out how everyth's a bird, You got the U.S. dollar, you got the eagle, you got the two-headed phoenix out of Russia. We got our logo, it's a canary. We're in the game, and I think you made the joke that, don't even come to the party if you're not battling with wielding a bird logo of some kind.
We're global players in the sort of circuit of bird logoed important establishments.
Right, and what's funny though? We're the ones that no one acknowledges. We're the ones like, hey, we're gonna come after you, and then
we're like the underdogs. That's what makes us the favorite. We're the wild cards.
Well, there's a couple sort of stories that I wanted to point out that are interesting. And of course, this first one is from WIO News or WION News. And the headline, scientists use artificial intelligence to confirm that birds are more colorful near equator.
Why did we need a robot to tell us this?
I don't know, but AI is telling us.
That's pretty odd, man. They're just running out of things to do with the AI.
Using artificial intelligence, scientists have confirmed that birds are more colorful near the equator. According to the study's author, Christopher Cooney, quote, "We found that colorfulness was highest in birds from dense, closed forest habitats." Okay, all right.
Good job, robot.
Great. Couldn't you do that by just, I don't know, an Excel sheet or something? Did you need AI?
I learned that from the Three Caballeros, children's movie. Right, yes, they have a whole song about the colorful birds close to the equator.
Well, there's another part to this because surely the birds near the equator might be more colorful, but overall, this is independent.co.uk, the Russian mogul or son of a former KGB agent owned news outlet from the UK. Headline: birds in tropical forests plummet 90% in 40 years. So now we have birds that are colorful.
When they say plummet, do they mean just fall? Like stop flying? Like I don't know.
They're talking about the population, but sure, they're just birds falling.
All right.
The number of birds living in tropical forests have plummeted by up to 90% in just 40 years, according to new research Conservationists describe the decline as concerning after findings that the vast majority of species studied in a Panamanian rainforest had seen declines in numbers of at least 50% between 1997 and 2020. So, yeah, so it's just interesting how it's like AI finds more tropical areas to have more colorful birds, and then indie.co.uk is like 90% of birds in the tropical forest have died.
Yeah, there's a trend going on here. I am surprised, and maybe this would be our satirical answer to the satirical conspiracy theory that birds aren't real. Mm-hmm. Because if I was CNN, and I know a lot about CNN, I don't even. Well, I will say I do technically get paid to watch CNN and report on it, of course. If I were CNN and I saw these stats, I would start a social justice campaign calling the birds aren't real people, terrorists and bird terrorists, because they're crazy, unfounded conspiracy theories are inspiring hate crimes against these birds. The bird population in the tropical rainforest has fallen 90% during the time that the birds aren't real conspiracy theory has been flying around, if you will.
And all those colorful birds, they're trying to take life out of the equation by killing off all those colorful birds.
They're colorful birds, like the rainbow flag. It's anti-LGBTQ. It's anti-bird. It's anti-establishment.
Anti-flying.
The anti-flight. Yes, this is very. I mean, the flyophobic. Please. This could definitely be. I mean, I obviously. I've been watching too much CNN recently because I don't
letting him feed your ideas for marketing campaigns.
Not going to fall for the fake news, Gonz. I know the truth now that I watch CNN, or more so, I know their equations. I know how to
their algorithms. I know how to
create the outrage, the fake outrage, and divide the people over birds aren't real conspiracy theory.
That's actually probably a great way to get the kind of viral attention. If we do it right, we got to do it right somehow.
Yeah, it's not easy to do.
It's not easy because we would be mocking the establishment, right, by saying all these things about the birds aren't real group. So it's like
it would be kind of an OG Stephen Colbert type of thing. His
before COVID, before he
not his
out.
Lame thing now, but his old show where he played a character type of thing. I do want to give props to Bibu Zuzu, who says they probably didn't get their fourth jab. That's why. But it did give me the idea that these were. Well, let's see here. I wonder if they were jabbed. Then it would be, hate speech to say that the jab had anything to do with the 90% death in these birds. That's what database is that? That's a voluntary database. It's not official. Anybody could put the death of a bird in there. I don't know. We're working on it. We'll workshop it. We got to run it by the lizard people. We'll see how they can use this.
Bird wars.
Bird wars.
So a new discovery in Antarctica.
Penguins.
The moment you've all been waiting for, folks. This is coming from USA Today. What in the world is happening in Antarctica now? Well, USA Today is reporting, want a job counting penguins? There's an opening at this Antarctic post office. Ever wanted to work at a post office? No. Next article. Ever wanted?
I mean, the people that I interact with at the post office are some of the nicest people I come across. On
heroes.
a more weekly basis or whatever it is.
They have to be.
They have to be. They're
probably
nice.
medicated.
It's possible, yeah. But, Yeah, this, I don't know. Are they anyway? Go on.
Let's learn more.
Yeah,
Ever wanted to work at a post office but didn't want to face dogs constantly barking at you? A British charity is offering the chance to deal not with paws, but with flippers with a job in Antarctica.
Wow, quite the setup.
Yeah. The UK Antarctic Heritage Trust is a charity that manages bases that educate visitors and help conservation efforts on the 7th continent. One of the, we have not considered that part of Antarctica. It's the 7th continent, the perfect continent. It's the
cult 7, yeah.
Yeah. One of the bases.
7.
Yeah. One of the bases is Port Lockroy on Goudier Island in the Palmer Archipelago west of the Antarctic Peninsula. Wow, that was quite a sentence. At the port, the trust is looking for a base leader, shop manager, and general assistant to work at the gift shop and the world's most remote post office from November to March 2023. Antarctica's summer months, when temperatures can reach a brisk 50 degrees, but often are freezing when you factor in the wind chill. The port usually looks for workers every summer season, but it will be open to the public for the first time since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. The Earth is healing. The Antarctic post office is opening.
I think this is your calling. You can podcast from Antarctica from November to March of the end of this year.
You beat me to it for sure. I mean, see, the biggest thing there is you're sort of part of a community, and not having to pay to be on a cruise or something. You're not having to sustain your own life. You're part of a community with some infrastructure and some other humans, so you don't go nutso.
Right.
So this is a total opportunity. Now we got to check the internet connection, but let's keep going. Some of the duties, including managing the gift shop, I could do that, and the post office, I cannot do that. On behalf of the British Antarctic Territory government, the post office says it gets about 80,000 pieces of mail a season. No. Who is sending 80,000 pieces of mail to Antarctica?
With all the important Illuminati, information.
Seriously, though, that's like a hint. That's a hint that there's more going on there than
just
meets the eye.
Melting ice from climate change.
Yeah, wow. But perhaps the best task? Counting penguins. Workers have to count penguins and other wildlife for the British Antarctic Survey, and a report is due by the end of employment. According to the application, the successful candidate will need to be physically and medically able to do this job. Check. Living conditions are basic but comfortable. Check. But there is a limited power and no running water or internet access.
Oh, no.
Boo. Which means, quote, very minimal communication to the outside world. If you want to take a shower or use a flushing toilet, you have to hope a visiting ship will let you use one. I could probably bring some. I just got to tweet at Elon Musk so he can fly one of his Starlink satellites over there.
Yeah, you can tell Elon now, hey, I want to really be a featured. I'm gonna use my Twitter platform.
It's a PR, exactly.
Yeah, I'm gonna use Twitter to really put a highlight to this whole thing, and I'd love it to get some internet connection. Yeah, bringing.
You can brag about it.
Starlink over Antarctica, so he can tweet.
Oh, here's how it is. Hey, Elon, I'm a expert in Antarctica. Here's my references, and we'll send him 100 episodes of this show. And then I got to go work at the post office down here, but I need the internet to continue my important scientific research. Can you send down a Starlink, please? By the way, there's Ukrainians here, so he can use it as a Ukrainian PR opportunity, and also I will promise to keep his secret about his secret, UFO research facility in Antarctica. As daunting as the job may seem, Lauren Elliott, a postmaster who worked there from 2019 to 2020, told BBC it is, quote, the most magical place in the world, even if it meant cleaning up lots of penguin poo. Why? Why would you have to do that? They break into the building and ruffle some feathers and leave you little presents. Quote, I'm not going this year, but to anyone who's considering it, pack up your bags and go, Elliot said. Our team still talks today, and you'll make friends for life. For those interested, the application can be found here. Don't mind if I do.
I'm looking
with
at
the deadline.
Sorry, I'm looking at this picture of apply to join our Port Lockery team, And it's got the picture of the penguins kind of around a little series of cases or something on a sled. And the front box, 33.
Oh.
You see it?
Wow, they're signaling us, Gonz.
You see it?
I do now. Yep, over on the right-hand side there.
Or the left.
Or left,
yeah. Left side. Your other right, yeah.
Yeah, the penguin's right.
The penguin's right, yeah.
Yeah, what a fun little signal that they're sending there. All right, I guess I have to apply. You know what will really, if I just put in an application and do get chosen, probably out of the tens of thousands of people who will send in an application, will know that the Illuminati is has plans for me down there. With the deadline.
Speaking of scapegoat and penguin poo, we got some plans for this man.
You know what? They probably would accept my application because I wouldn't be able to do the podcast. It would be actually very smart of them to do.
That's true.
With a deadline at 7:59 p.m. Eastern Time on April 25th, international candidates can apply, but they must have the right to work in the United Kingdom, and those selected will have a week of training in Cambridge in October. I don't know if I have the right to work in the UK, but again, if they want me, they'll figure it out.
I just like the idea of...
It's a good opportunity.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the idea of you being down there, even if we can't, we've got to figure it out. There's got to be a way to communicate.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I'm not going to go down there. Here's the thing. I'm not going to go down. Let me say it one more time. Here's the thing. I will not go down there and work in the post office. I don't think it would work. But...
You can go down there and give
dear
us a
listener,
report.
dear listener, you dear UK listener, whoever you are, you have right to work in the UK. You know who you are. You got anything going on from November to March next year? Probably not. I mean, maybe you do, but you can change your plans. If we had a mole on the inside, go send us some boots on the ground reports. They would go down in the world history or the world record book. We couldn't get Guinness.
Yeah, couldn't get Guinness.
But we can pay world record book.
The world record book is a London-based apparatus as well.
Gosh,
so it works out.
It's all coming together.
It's all coming together.
You'll be in the world record book as the most committed Canary Cry News Talk producer. And look, you're going to have to scoop some poop. You're going to have to do your duties. You're not going to have running water or a toilet. But you'll make some friends. You'll make friends for life. And you will have a very special segment on the show. You will be required to, I don't know, use a satellite phone or something and leave us some voice messages telling us what you see, what you experience, at least once a week. If you're not able to do that, I'm sorry. We're going to have to send a robot. It's just the way the world works now.
They say it's the most magical place in the world. I mean, this is it's like going to Disneyland, you know?
Well, maybe they mean magic with a K. Maybe there's a lot of covens. Antarctica explain so much.
Yeah.
All right. So this was less of a earth-shattering conspiracy theory about Antarctica, but we're having fun here. This is a very real call to any Canary Cry producer who has the right to work in the UK. Sit down, find a quiet place, read some of your Bible, spend some time in prayer, question your life decisions. What has brought you to this position where you are considering going to Antarctica for us? And I'm telling you, if you're gotten this far in the process, it's going to happen. Send us an email, and we will support you. We'll
go on a campaign to get you.
I am happy.
Yeah.
I am willing to talk about sending a stipend to this person in Antarctica for extra snacks and extra.
Where is he going to buy it from? The penguin. The penguin hut there?
The gift shop.
Hey, this looks like you just molded some penguin poo and called it some fudge donut or something.
If for real, I'm being serious. If for real, a UK listener, somebody who has the right to work in the UK,
like Vegan 777 in the chat says, I'm
like
in the UK.
Vegan, I see you, Vegan 777. Look at your life. Tell me. You need to go to Antarctica for us. I am willing to discuss and commit a stipend provided by producers.
Wow.
And it'll be a special thing, you know. You'll put in your note like this is for the Antarctica research trip or whatever. We will commit money to you every month if you follow through with the requests that we have. Putting it out very real. Go ahead, send us an email if that's something that you find yourself interested in. Anything to add to that, Gonz? Any more sort of ludicrous commitments you want to throw out extemporaneously on the air?
I think we've thrown out multiple inquiries of our producers today, so I'll shut it down.
We got to
right
throw out a lot because we get about 10% of them filled, which is actually quite impressive. But yeah, we got to keep the numbers going. My VR headset has gone completely gray. And so, okay, I'm back. There we go. There we go. You good?
I'm good.
That's good. We're only slightly later than we wanted to be today. So we are going to end the show there. Thank you, everybody. As a reminder, we will not be doing a show on Friday. I repeat, we will be not doing a show on Friday. Gonz has an engagement, very important event he needs to go to. But very exciting. We will be streaming on Sunday. That is Palm Sunday. I believe we'll be streaming in all of our regular locations, but we'll also be streaming on the No Agenda stream. Right after No Agenda, we'll be next up. Lord willing and the creek don't rise. We are scheduled for that, which is very exciting for us. I'm sure very exciting for many of our listeners who are also No Agenda listeners. I would encourage you perhaps to listen to the show. You know what? It'll be just audio streaming on the No Agenda stream, I believe.
Yeah,
right?
It will be.
Okay. So yeah, we'll still do the video side of things. But, it might be cool if, we bring some listeners to that stream for our segment there. We're very excited about it. And
just to before you keep going here, for the producers out there, send in your stuff. Like if you're doing art or whatever it is, as if you're doing it for the Friday show. We're just going to share it all on Sunday. So yes,
we still want art. We still want music and jingles.
Same show.
Everything
the same.
Same show. Everything's the same. I hope that we get stuff because we'll be in front of a new audience and it would be cool to really show off how cool our people are. So there you go. And you can always produce that show as well. That would be very appreciated. We're only able to continue doing this show because of you, dear producer. So you can head on over to patreon.com/CCNT and CanaryCry.Radio.com/support.
CanaryCry.Radio.com/support.
That's right. And most of you know this, but I'll say it again. Our value for value model setup is based off of the value for value model of the No Agenda show. So, they're sort of they were a front runner in the value for value. We're very happy that they shared that with us, and we believe in it very much. So if you believe in the value for value system and want to keep this independent media going as the war rages on from the corporate news media, that would be a great opportunity to also show thanks to, the community that sort of inspired us in that system. So I want to thank our producers of this episode of Canary Cry News Talk 468, starting with our executive producer, Dame Lynn, Lady of the Lakes. Thank you very much, Dame Lynn, Lady of the Lakes. And of course, thank you to all of our beautiful, talented producers, Emily H., Brenton B., Moore, Sir JC, Knight of the Techno Squatch, Sir Scott, Knight of Truth, Sir Casey the Shield Knight, Isaac G., Veronica D., Gail M., and Runk Smash. Always a pleasure to see that our producers believe in, gain value from, and want to see the show continue. And if that's you, go do that. I already gave you the places to do that. Okay, but you can produce the show in all sorts of ways, including some very special ways that I want to thank some producers right now. Let's start with our Clippies. Clipping all those videos. Thanks. Thank you to our clip producers, clipping every show, putting it up on the Canary Cry Clips channel. Go follow that channel. You're going to love it. I spent some time actually sitting there watching our clips, and it's really fun to revisit and also refresh just how on the ball we are, because sometimes we forget. Thank you to our clip producers, Emsworth, Facelikethesun, and Epsilon, really nailing it.
Thank you.
And thank you to our timestampers.
Timestamp, it's hard work. Timestamp.
And I want to thank Jackie Yu for timestamping Monday's show. It's a very important part of what we do.
Appreciate it.
I'm going to keep it nice and short, Gonz. Thank you, also thank you, but go to CanaryCry.Meetups.com.
Canary Cry Meetup.
Yeah, CanaryCry.Meetups.com. Go there, check it out. Meet with other Canarians, whether online or in person. It's a very important part of life, connecting with other people who you have things in common with. East Texas this month, end of this month. Louisville, Kentucky, 9th of this month. San Antonio, Texas, 23rd of this month. I can't say month. Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania, the 9th of July, baby. And let's see, we also got an update on Proton Mail, who I don't have open. Do you have Proton Mail open right now?
I can go check real quick. Is there an update?
Yes, we got an update, allegedly. I have not read it, but it's an update on a meetup. I think it's North Idaho. That's Josiah, right?
Josiah, yeah. The last one I see from him is from March 30th. So I don't know if there was another.
Well, it is not there.
There it is.
Okay.
I see it.
Make sure that there's nothing you're not supposed to read.
Planning on North Idaho Q2 meetup May 1st. Mayday.
Oh, good call. Mayday. Okay, there you go. North Idaho, 1st of May.
2 p.m. at Farragut State Park. More planning and art coming.
Yep, we'll put that all on CanaryCry.Meetups.com when the details arrive. But there you go. If you're near North Idaho, prepare for May 1st. Any other information you want, go to CanaryCry.Meetups.com, see where it is, contact the host, and get to it. I'll see you at the meetup.
This is fun.
That's right. Reviews.
Ugly, horrible person. You must leave review on iTunes. And if you do not, you are ugly, horrible person. You bring shame to family. Bean chilling. Ugly, horrible person.
That's right. Reviews, very important. I'm going to go check, see how we're doing this week. We need 5 or more. Ooh, we are not doing good. So go leave ratings and reviews on Apple Podcasts. It's very important for the health of the show, and we can do nothing about it. But if we get 5 or more this week, you'll make me go, ooh, woo. There you go. Mm-hmm. Okay. Other than that, folks, tweet us out on social media. That's very important. I know it's hard to communicate that sometimes, but if you do, tweet us out or whatever, Facebook us, I don't even know. Go ahead and tag us. You can tag Canary Cry News Talk or hashtag Canary Cry News Talk. And of course, we love to let people know that they should follow fellow Canarians. Okay. Other than that, you can produce the show in so many different ways with your time, your talent, or your treasure. If you want to, maybe times are tough. Maybe you're in the large portion of the population who is really affected by what's going on now, and producing the show financially is not in the cards for you. We totally understand, but there's other ways you can get involved. You can create art or jingles or really anything that you do, sculptures, spoken word, microfictions, there's so many ways to produce the show. You can send that all over to CanaryCryRadio@gmail.com or CanaryCryRadio@protonmail.com. And if you head to CanaryCryRadio.com/support, at the bottom of the page, you'll see a form. It's a fun form to fill out. Can you imagine? It's fun. I made it fun. There's even a question on it to ask you if you thought it was fun. That's how fun it is. And just ask.
You're starting to sound like one of my elementary school teachers.
Fun.
This is fun. You are having fun.
Have fun.
It hurts though.
Have fun or else. What did your elementary school teachers do to you? Go fill it out.
Monkey bars.
Yeah, and it's, if you want to get involved in our back end or get involved in any special projects, or you have any ideas or skills that you want to produce the show, be a part of something fun and cool and big and important. We believe it's important. That's a great way to do it. I see you, producers. I'm checking the thing now. Yes, we've had a few come in, and I'll be getting at you. So, thank you. That's at Canary Cry Radio. CanaryCryRadio.com/support. Fill out the form. Come on, it's a fun form. It's fun. You'll love it. All right. Other than that, share the show. Share it with your friends, your family. It's all good. Everybody's waiting and ready, and they want to know what's going on in the world, and they're not being told by the traditional news media. And as we saw today, the traditional news media is literally, explicitly a brainwashing service for people who want to be, have their brain washed. It's good. It's very useful for that. But people might not want to have their brain washed. In fact, they might want their brain set free. They want to think outside the cage. And now is a wonderful time to help them out and tell them about the show. Helps us out too. But you don't have to do it the regular way with your words or your text messages. You can also get a little funky with it. Our eccentric listeners who want to find a more unique and, fulfilling way of sharing the show. Let me tell you, we have a job opening in Antarctica. I know a lot of these revolve around Antarctica lately. But let me tell you, the whole world is revolving around Antarctica, both literally and metaphorically. Go ahead, go apply to the Antarctica post office job, baby. You wanna, and we'll even send you a free Canary Cry supply drop. I'm telling you, if one of our producers gets this job down in Antarctica, not only will I commit some sort of stipend to keep you alive down there in return for boots on the ground reports, but I will also put you on the list to receive the Canary Cry supply drop for free. You're going to need it. It's going to keep you happy. It's going to give you some fun stuff to do. And maybe I'll put some Canary Cry earmuffs in there for you. You'll be at the top of my mind. So go apply for the job, UK listeners and producers. Work at the post office down there. Sort letters. Pick up the penguin poop. Sort the penguin poop. And then mail the letters with the penguin poop in it. It's just like you got to find ways to entertain yourself down there. But more importantly, you'll have an opportunity to send us boots on the ground reports. Let us know if you see the shimmer or the giant undersea spiders or the Nephilim penguins or whatever, the space lasers. You get it. And you can join the ranks of all Antarctica scientists who are desperately trying to let us know that climate change is not happening in Antarctica. And so that's a great way to spread the show. That's it. Do that one. And if you need any more instructions, here's what you do. You walk right up to them, you grab them by the cage, and then you shake it.
The end of the world occurred pretty much as we had predicted.
I want to to shake things up, stir up some controversy, rattle a few cages. Hey, stop that! You'll never silence me. I'm the last angry man.
Wait.
Crusader for the little guy.
Stop the show. Stop the show.
Whoa.
2 things.
Okay.
1 thing.
Did you remember?
Yes. I remembered, yes. I remembered the things. 122 go-to reminded me. Canary Cry mixtape is broken.
Oh, yeah.
SoundCloud is a bad service. Nobody use it. We don't know what happened. It erased all of the Canary Cry mixtape.
What the heck?
Off of it's just gone. It's gone from our account. We can't even get to it on the back end. We've been censored on SoundCloud. And we didn't
canceled off SoundCloud.
We got canceled from SoundCloud. They took our content off of SoundCloud. Our music, the Canary Cry mixtape, is broken. So we're finding a new service that won't do that to us. We will get the mixtape back up, but we are realizing that we really need a committed producer to manage the SoundCloud. Not the
SoundCloud. We're thinking of Audius or something. There's other platforms out there, but
we'll find. Yeah, maybe we can find one together. But email us if you want to. If you are responsible and understand the internet and can manage and just maintain our Canary Cry mixtape so it's available for everybody. You know, I mean, there's even a way. There's a chance for this to sort of evolve into a type like a kind of like a Canary Cry mixtape.
DJ.
DJ.
Well, we got the
manager, like a manager too. Like
right.
If this person, of course, we just need to maintain the mixtape on a service that we can have it on the website. But like if somebody wants to look into getting it on Spotify or, you know, making it available in other places, we need someone to do that. That is a very urgent need for us. Have I mentioned we got canceled from SoundCloud because of the art created by our perfect, talented, and good-looking audio producers? No, but music is art.
Oh, that's what you meant. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought they like sent a note like the art on these on the songs are no good.
No. So this is an urgent call. I mean, this is something very important to us. It's a huge part of the culture here. And so there you go. Send us some emails. We'll figure it out. And if it's a team of people, that's fine too. We can put together a team if we have multiple, people who can do it. So there you go. I needed to stop because that's very important. We've got a lot of notes about it, and it breaks my heart that it happened. But I want to get it back up and running as soon as possible. If you're somebody who can help us with that, let us know. Okay. Now you can. Oh, and that reminds me of the other thing. Okay, we talked about putting on the Burning Man thing, and then we talked about doing the half live show, half rave. Get the subwoofers at the live show type of thing. And I just needed to say out loud because maybe it can turn into a song or something to advertise that event, whatever we do. I'm going to try a couple different ones, and you tell me what you think. Okay? Do you agree?
Sure. Yep.
Okay. Think outside the rave. Okay, that's number one.
Okay.
There's also think outside the rage. Come on. And then, of course, you need a good think outside the cage. So those. Do you have any other ideas?
Not off the top of my head right now, especially when I was supposed to.
Me neither.
Yeah.
We need to
be
go.
Done
so
half hour.
There we go.
An hour ago. 2 hours ago.
No,
I had a meeting with the council member an hour ago. Okay. Remember
now
Biden? Remember Biden? That's a Biden. He got all mad during that press conference in Poland where he was like, I was supposed to meet the United Nations Council an hour ago or something like that. He got all mad at the reporters.
Think outside the bidet.
Oh.
That was from Green Pastures.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm taking a look now, seeing if there's any other ones. Okay. Let's
think
go
outside the stage. Home. Are we on a stage and we can do it? Think
sure.
outside the stage.
Think outside the stage.
I want to shake things up, stir up some controversy, rattle a few cages. Hey, stop that! You'll never silence me. I'm the last angry man, a crusader for the little guy. Leave the bird alone. Never. Rattle a few cages. Rattle a few cages.
The human race will have every opportunity to improve.
And if they don't?
Ask Noah.
You've Gonz to be kidding me. Any last words, Gonz?
No, I got nothing at this point. Thank you for. Oh, I guess we'll see you guys on Sunday. So yeah, no show Friday.
Sunday. Yep. Think outside the crave.
The what?
Think outside the crave.
The crave.
Yeah.
Well, okay, all right. That's a good one for when you're hungry. You're trying to lose weight. You know.
Yeah, freedom.
Some food.
It's breaking chains, Gonz. Think outside the chains.
Ooh, think outside the
brains.
The frage.
That one really wasn't very good. Okay, everybody, thanks for... Kidding. Don't send me emails. You're good, Gonz. Okay, everybody.
Frag. It's a German word. It's a German word. Fry.
Think outside the fridge. Think outside the strange. Okay. Thanks, everybody, for listening to this episode of Canary Cry News Talk. Make sure to tune in next time. But until then, think outside the cage.
Remember, reality is an illusion. The universe is a hologram. Buy gold. Bye!
In the future, humans will be confined in a people's zoo.
Keep a break. I'll keep you safe and warm. In my people's zoo. War. I'll keep you safe and warm now. In my people's zoo. War. You, yeah, you. In my people's zoo.
This is the United States of America, for God's sake.
I'll keep the cameras on.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
You, in my people's zoo. They all want to shoot your dad.
I've ordered more pills than anyone in the world. We will hunt you down to make you pay. Come on, man. This is not about freedom or personal choice. Take the apple, man. Take the apple, man.
120 days. I'll make you fat and sassy. In my people's zoo. I'll make you fat and sassy. In my people's zoo. You, yeah, you.
We're all gonna die.
You, yeah, you. In my people's zoo.
I'll keep you warm and safe in my people's zoo.
Do not come back, you Nazi psychopaths!